Gotta love that bass drop.
What's up, everybody? Bass drop. Welcome to the FU podcast. It is July 18th, 2023. It is hot as hell out, and this is the FU podcast, episode 176. Welcome.
176.
I am joined today with me, myself, Devin Ewart, and then Patrick, this guy over here,
Yeah, right here.
Patrick Martin, and then that guy over there.
Hey, hold on.
Shut up.
Let me speak.
Just be quiet. Just
Let
be
me
quiet.
speak.
Let him finish. Let him finish before you start talking.
Hold on.
Because you
Were you
because
not
that's
pointing at
all
me?
you.
Yes.
Well, hold on. Were you not pointing at me?
always you
Wait.
all you just don't shut up.
Hold on. Were you waiting for me to speak, Devin?
Yes, I was.
Thank you, Devin. I appreciate that for having my back because this salty motherfucker, all he's got is a shaker.
Damn it.
And,
And then
he
you hit her.
And I will go ahead and apologize in advance to our special guest that we have
I
today.
was gonna say he literally pointed at me for the talk,
I
And-
don't care.
so I was like, "Yeah." So
Okay, be quiet so he can finish the intro. Shut up.
I have to talk.
Devin,
so the
turn off
camera's
his
on us.
mic so you can finish.
And
Hello.
without further ado, the multi-talented Katie Edwards is in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
You're
Excited
welcome.
to
Thanks
be
for being
here.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you'll get to say more than 2 words.
Yeah.
We'll see. I might just be standing by the entire time. You guys have a lot to say.
Did you see her look at Andy? So, all right, go ahead. Finish, Devin.
Yes, so Miss Katie Edwards is a full-time travel model. She's a published author. She's a model coach with a 12-year career. Katie brings a wealth of experience and unique perspective to the podcast, known for her raw authenticity and witty humor. Can't wait to hear this. Katie doesn't shy away
It
from
comes and
discussing taboo topics. From her insights from the modeling industry to her thoughts on bodybuilding, ballroom dancing, and interior design. This episode promises to entertain, educate, and challenge listeners. Because, listeners aren't already challenged. So welcome.
I just broke your chair. Oh, no, I didn't. It does that on
No, you're all right.
purpose. Okay.
You're all right.
So, I would just like to ask a quick question. Had Devin pointed to me and said to my left, and I just said nothing, and there was just
Dead air.
dead air. What was going to be your excuse?
I'd
at that
much
point?
rather have dead air than you
Were
talk.
you going to yell at me for not talking? I feel like you would. I feel like that was a
I
situation.
would yell at you either way.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That's
Right.
true. That's kind of
Exactly.
like
It's a
it's
trap.
kind of like a relationship.
Okay,
You know,
I digress.
damned if you do,
I'm-
damned if you don't.
I now retract.
Okay. All right.
All right. Are y'all done fighting? As
Yeah, we're done.
Ashley posted. Oh, my God. Already fighting, boys.
Yeah.
First comment of the day. Molly says hi.
Oh God.
How's my daughter doing?
That's my daughter.
I'll turn my mic back
Molly
on for
is
that.
my daughter.
I'll turn my mic back on.
No, you won't.
Hey, niece.
Oh,
how's it
shut
going?
the.
Auntie says
Hey,
hi too as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Molly.
All right. Where would you like to start? You want to tell us about your upbringing, or do you want to just jump right into your career path?
That's a loaded question. Y'all don't have specifics for me?
Oh, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we
That's
do.
what I was going to
Just-
say. Do we want to start general, or do we
just,
want to go
you know,
right into the specifics?
Start wherever you feel is comfortable.
All right. So tell us about your journey as a full-time travel model.
Okay. Oh, so
Is that specific enough for you?
Yeah, that's
All right,
great. Good start.
Just making sure.
All right. So, from the very beginning, many years ago, my mom actually stopped in. So we were walking around the mall, and we stopped because we saw like this model sign up raffle situation, and she was like, "Oh, you should sign up for this. It'll be fun." And I was very much like an emo kid. I have 3 older brothers. Take machetes and sledgehammers into the woods and have
Where
fun.
are these pictures?
Nowhere. There
That
are
would've been
actually
awesome.
no
That sounds like-
pictures.
That sounds like a horror movie. So
I wish
go
there were
ahead.
pictures. That would be great. But no pictures, unfortunately. So yeah, I was like, no, I'm not really trying to do that. Not really me. And she's like, oh, it'll just be fun. It'll be funny. Come on. So I signed up, and they were modeling and acting classes, went through those. And I think at the time it was kind of a distraction method because that was whenever
Both?
I was like 12, 13.
Both the acting and the modeling, or just the whole
Yeah,
thing?
they were like acting and modeling / personal development classes. So
Okay.
we learned like etiquette, professionalism, like basically all the things that I try to teach in my own coaching.
Okay.
And so I think it was kind of a distraction method. I don't know if it really. Anyway, so at that time in my life, I had a brother, not a blood brother, but someone very close to our family pass away. So,
Ah.
you know, it was a good way for me to kind of put my energy into something positive, something creative, and just not be focused on that. So yeah, I went through those classes, absolutely fell in love with it. And I just kept on doing it. I got with my first agency whenever I was like 14 or 15.
How was that experience?
Not what I would recommend nowadays, just because I think mine was more of like a scammy situation. Because
That's the reason why I was asking. Yeah.
we had to pay a lot of money for pictures, hair and makeup, just to like get our pictures printed, to own them, to, you know, be on the website and and they never really got me any bookings. I got a bunch of auditions, but all of those auditions also are on a free site called Actors Access and casting networks, so you can find all of those yourself without having an agent.
Wow.
So yeah, it was kind of BS. So I can still submit for all of those things without having to split my money with someone else.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everyone always, it looks good to be with an agent, and everyone always talks about, oh, I need an agency, this, that, and the other. But you
really
if
don't.
you know
can
how to
be your own
market
agent.
yourself, like you really don't. There's so many other ways of going about it.
Shameless self-promotion.
That's
Put
Exactly.
yourself out there.
Exactly. So yeah, I went through a phase where I was more focused on acting, less on modeling, because everyone was telling me that I couldn't do it, that I wasn't tall enough, that I, you know, wasn't the right measurements, yada yada, whatever.
How tall are you, if you don't mind me asking?
5'3".
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm a lot taller. I photograph a lot taller, so I use that to my advantage.
Nice.
But yeah, I kind of took a little break during college because I was an 18-hour semester student, so I didn't have time for anything else.
That's a lot of school.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And then after COVID,
What were you studying, if you don't mind me asking?
fashion. I was a dual major, fashion design, fashion merchandising, with a minor in marketing.
Okay.
Okay.
So
School?
Texas Women's.
Okay.
TWU right down the
Yeah.
road.
Yep.
okay.
Yep. So I was very close to this area
Right.
for a long time. I love Denton.
Bless your heart.
Oh, it's and I was a part of that community at the time, the Bless Your Heart community.
Oh, Denton. Oh, Denton.
Oh, Denton.
It's like its own little bubble. It's great.
It is.
Honestly.
What area are you originally from?
East Texas, Tyler.
East Texas, Tyler. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. So how did you migrate from Tyler all the way to TWU? Like what? How did that transpire?
So, original plan after college, after high school was I was planning. I'd already been going out to LA. I had an acting coach out in LA. I had met with agencies out there. My parents had gone with me. That was the whole, in my head, what I was supposed to be doing. Get to my senior year of high school, and my dad's like, you can either go to college and we'll support you and help you out, or you can move to LA and we're just going to cut you off. And I was like, that's not an option.
Ouch.
And he just like really wanted me to go to college because he wanted me to have a backup plan.
It's not bad.
Not a
idea.
bad thing,
Yes.
but you know, I just kind of picked something random for school, and I ended up dropping out anyway, so it kind of wasted his money. Yeah, I dropped out like right before COVID, so I would have dropped out anyway.
How long did you go?
I got like halfway through my junior year.
Halfway through junior year.
Yeah,
So 2.5 years?
something like that.
Okay, so I get how you say he wasted his money, but you can't tell. I mean, and I don't mean like to make the joke like college party. I learned how to party or anything, but like you've had to have learned at least something in that 2.5 years, yeah?
I learned how to sew.
Fuck.
and make patterns.
Okay.
I learned how to make
What about on the
patterns.
marketing side? Did you learn anything? Because
I was-
that could be
I
you
was-
could leverage that.
like-
Honestly,
Already knew everything.
I was trying to put a positive spin on it. Like,
No,
you
it's
know?
okay.
Like, don't worry, Dad, you didn't waste your money. Like, we're trying.
No, I tell him, I'm
She's
like,
just
you
playing.
wasted. I'm like, Tracy, you wasted your money. Congratulations.
Jeez.
But, you know, he's fine with it because I'm successful now. And he's like, it all paid off. I'm like, I guess so. You know, whatever.
did he send you the bill in the mail?
No. No, it's
Don't get
it's-
rich because I
The
got
bill
news
is
for you.
not in the mail. It is actually on my credit report. It's a loan. A nice
Yeah.
$17,000 loan.
Yeah, I didn't realize it till after the fact.
So
my
did
parents.
he really pay for it?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I'm like, wait.
It could be worth 17 grand. I mean, I've seen the
Oh,
other
yeah.
loans.
No, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, that is cheap.
Super. But yeah, so then after COVID, during COVID, I moved to Austin and I got like a regular schmegular person job. And I worked at an indoor kids playground. Terrible. Good birth control right there. No children for me.
Indoor children's playground, like
It was just chaos. Just think the most amount of chaos with flashing lights
I
and
mean,
loud music and balls just
trampoline
going
parks,
everywhere.
balls
he
everywhere.
likes
Balls
There it is.
everywhere.
Time
Lots
stamp.
of balls.
See, no matter what, somehow balls gets referenced on this. Whether we're talking about
She has
actual,
watched.
Yeah. See, you
Right.
tell us you haven't watched. You research.
I didn't. I did research. I said I watched bits and pieces. You know,
Okay, so you've had to hear
like
balls
5
somewhere.
minutes here,
Yeah.
5
Yep.
minutes there.
But
awesome.
no, they're like trampoline parks are the same way. It's like, not even organized chaos. Organized chaos.
It's just chaos.
yeah.
Period. And
Yeah.
small children, small humans running around and throwing things, and you're like uncontrollable. Yeah.
And you can't say anything or do anything because the parents are like,
I will
Oh,
say.
I had a child try to fight me over a fucking ball. I was like, bro, you can't have this in
Andy?
here.
Yeah. Andy.
You're closer
like,
to
you
their
can't
height than I am.
He was like literally like throwing hands, and I was like, I'm done. I walked out and I was like, somebody come get your kid. I'm done.
somebody
So
come
quit
get
that
her.
job, and then I became a security guard. That was super fun during COVID. Don't look at me.
Where
like that.
at?
ICU Medical. I actually was a risk operations and then access control coordinator.
You said ICU medical?
Mm-hmm.
Are you tackling fucking ER patients and shit? I've seen them people go crazy.
What? ICU Medical is a manufacturing facility.
Okay. I thought you was like a hospital or something. I just hear ICU. I
No.
think intensive care units.
Well,
No.
if it was ICU, I mean, they're all sedated anyway. She wouldn't be doing nothing.
You know.
But walking around the hall.
Yeah. Well, that's where you got to go for the peekaboo virus, the ICU.
So did I actually? Shut up.
But
Never mind.
anywho-ville.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not.
Anywho, yeah.
Anywho-ville.
All right. Yes.
So, yeah.
Shit.
So then realized, I didn't love that either, and I hated being in basically a room this size for anywhere between 8 and 16 hours a day, and
A lot of video monitoring.
literally like 16 screens and
Ugh.
just stare at them
Ugh.
is awful.
Okay.
No
Wow.
fun.
That'd be boring.
Yeah.
So you
it
found
is.
all the jobs like you didn't want to do for the rest of your life.
pretty much, and
That's
then I
awesome.
like kind of checked them off my list.
Nope.
And
Nope.
not that one.
that is one way. You know
That
what I'm
is the
saying?
best way to learn. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely don't want to do that.
It's kind of like, how do you find yourself? Well, you got to start by finding out all the things you aren't.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
But so then I had a crazy ass roommate in Austin, and I called my mom and I was like, LOL, I'm done. Come pack my shit up with me. I'm moving back in with you guys.
LOL, I'm
starting
done.
over.
LOL.
She's like, LOL.
to
No,
your
you're not.
parents.
Yeah.
I would have been sending back the ha 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 cross
Right.
skull and crossbones. Like, I'm laughing so hard I'm dead.
No,
But no, I
my
got
mom is such like she's a helicopter mom. So she was like, "Oh my god, my poor baby, I'm coming to get you."
you. Okay.
And I was like, "Hell yeah."
That's funny.
But yeah,
Mm.
so moved back in with my parents, and because I was done with Austin, I was done with the person that I was like
I
living.
don't blame you.
All of it was just like, I'm starting the fuck over. And so I remember sitting in my dad's office, and it's, at this point I moved out of Austin January 2021. So
Mhm.
COVID was pretty much over, at least for Austin, Texas, it was. And I was sitting in my dad's office with him, and he was like, well, I think you should go back to college. I looked at him, I was like, Dad, and I'd never said this to him before. I was like, I am not going back to college. That's the last thing I'm doing. Like, not for me. Was not having a Baja Blast. Not doing it. And he was like, well, Katie, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to do what I felt like I've always been, just supposed to do, what I'm meant to do, which is what I love, modeling and acting, just being successful doing that. And he looked at me and goes, well, stop fucking working for free. And I was like,
wow.
And
Dad laid down the law.
Next thing you know,
Yeah,
she went
he
out
did.
and she was like, pay me, bitch.
literally though,
Shit,
man, my first rates were like $100 for 4 hours. And then anytime after that is like $75 an hour. So I was only getting paid like $25 an hour. Now my rates are like $150 an hour.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And that's for a general shoot. Like
well,
booking
they're
you?
like, that's like the most expensive. It's anywhere. My like lowest rate is 100, and that's, you can see all that on my thingy
Okay.
on my
Very cool.
website.
Awesome.
So I like the journey through the model. Like I'm getting it. You're finding out like what's you and what's not, and then you
Mhm.
find out what you're worth as far as your business, right?
Mhm.
So when did it become a transition into the whole? And it may not be a full transition. It may just be part of your portfolio. But when did you the bodybuilding part start coming into the picture?
Oh man, so that started a long time ago. Honestly, I started getting heavy into like working out and lifting weights whenever I was getting sober. So at like, I think I started working out at like 16, and I got
Okay.
sober at 17. So then
It's
I just
early on,
really
yeah.
dove into it. But I was interested in bodybuilding, but I wasn't interested in like paying $4,000 to train as a bodybuilder, because that's what a lot of people.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Between the supplements and the coaching.
Right. I just wasn't, I was very inspired, wanted to do it, but just didn't have the means to really train that way.
Uh-huh.
But that came in last year. So I met my trainer at the gym. I was at Crunch Fitness working out, and I saw him. He's like staring at me from across the room, and I was like, "What the fuck? This weird guy staring at me? Like, what the
It's
hell?"
one of those creepers.
And I
Yeah.
was like, "What?"
Hold
and
on,
I
hold on.
like
Pretty
went to
much.
the bathroom.
Don't pass judgment yet.
I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna get out of here. I went to the bathroom, and I was like, I feel like he's gonna follow me. Sure enough, he did. He followed me out.
Okay, all right.
He wasn't weird though. He
Stage
was
5.
like, he was like, hey. And I turned around and I was like, hey. And he's like, what's your name? And I was like, Katie. And then he told me his name. He's like, have you ever thought about competing like bikini, doing like bikini competitions? And I was like, actually, it's on my goal list for this year. So he trained me actually for free my first show. And, that was amazing. And, after that, I started paying him. So, and I just kept doing it. So I did 2 shows last year. It was my first 2. And I am like 12 days out from
The
my
next
next
one?
show. Yeah.
Okay.
My
Very
3rd
cool.
one. Very exciting.
That's
Very
awesome.
cool,
Where are
very
these shows? Are they local, or you got to travel, or what's the deal?
The last 2 were in Houston. This one's in Waxahachie or Waxahachie. How it
Waxahachie.
Waxa, whatever.
Wax
it is.
what?
Waxa.
So
I call it
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
Waxahachie?
I said
Waxahachie.
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 I really don't know which one it is, honestly.
as it picks up, like, are you going to have to balance both, or are you going to end up picking one ultimately?
Oh, I
or?
do balance both very well. I have it down to a science. So since I do the travel modeling, I was doing just local stuff and then dove into the travel modeling side of it, which is just basically I book a trip somewhere and then book a bunch of shoots in that area so that I
that's
retain
fair.
a profit from
Yeah.
that trip, not just it paying for it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, and that's super fun.
So walk us through that process. Like, who do you know who to talk to? And
Walk
and
it out. Walk it out.
Oh
Walk it
man,
out.
it was a lot of learning because I really did not know. So I spoke to a lot of photographers. I tried reaching out to some models, but honestly, like some of them are nice,
Mm.
some of them are not. Some of them just don't really like. If they don't know you, they may not trust you. There's a lot of trust issues within the industry. Just
Yeah.
We
people
had
are
somebody
shitty.
else on that shared that same kind of view, especially within Dallas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, but even just all over the place, it is what it is, though.
It's very competitive, so that's part of the reason.
The thing is, the problem is people think it's competitive, and they make
Mhm.
it competitive with someone else when really, like, nobody looks like me. There's enough money around for all of us. There's enough work for everybody.
Right.
Like, you don't need to be a bitch. Period.
Like, I want to see everybody win. Like, you know what
Right,
I'm saying?
exactly.
Right.
But that's the problem is the mentality, like she said, is
Yeah.
like everybody's like
Crabs in a
it's-
barrel.
Like,
Me or
you're
nobody,
the
dire.
only person you're competing with ultimately is the person who you were yesterday, and that's how people need to start looking at it. Like
Mhm.
looking at everything, just life in general, because competing with other people, then you go into comparing yourself to other people. Like
Yep.
that's just going to eat you alive.
Well, it's a lose-lose situation because even if you do win, then what? Like, what's your
There's
next?
always
where's your
going to be
next
somebody
bar?
else that's better, that's
Exactly.
further up than you. Always,
Mhm.
like you know, say you're 40 under 40, right? Well, then there's going to be somebody that's making more money than you.
Mhm.
Always. So like what exactly are we
Yeah.
competing for here?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like as long as you're successful and you can do whatever you need to do to take care of your life, like what does it matter?
If you clone yourself today, could you kick your ass tomorrow? Your clone's ass tomorrow. Like,
That's a good one. I
that's-
like
That is
that.
pretty good.
I'm not the only one to have ever said that. Trust me, I'll put that on.
I've
the-
never heard that one before.
But yeah, I promise you, I've heard that somewhere. That's not just Andy's nuggets of knowledge. But
Andy's
no,
dad
like,
jokes.
That's that's definitely true.
it could, like, if you cloned yourself today, could you kick your clone's ass tomorrow?
I like that.
It's,
Mhm.
I'm
you
gonna
know,
steal that from you.
and it's whatever you're good at. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
whether you fight or whether you're business, whether you know what I'm saying. Could you beat your sales tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? Could you beat your quota tomorrow? Could you beat your shoots? I don't even know what the
Look at that, Devin.
Yeah. It's okay.
Andy
It's-
sounds
I know
smart.
what you mean.
So
But the process for like diving into the travel model world, so there's a bunch of like different websites that models use. So we have like there's Model Mayhem, there's Purple Port, there's Model Society, there's Facebook groups for every single major city in every single state, even out of country. There's Facebook groups just in general for portrait photography, art nude, black and white, you know, anything you could possibly think of. Best photographers. I am a part of probably like 40 Facebook groups. And so you just have to, it's pretty much direct marketing.
Yeah.
You direct market yourself, you get recommendations, word of mouth. I post travel notices. Social media is a big one. I have to be on all the social media platforms, even though
I didn't see you on Facebook.
I am on Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you didn't fill out Facebook on the sheet.
I just don't. It's just like it's my full name.
you
Ah.
should just
I don't have like a Facebook page. It's like my personal Facebook, and I won't add anybody.
Oh,
okay.
I'll
No,
ignore
yeah.
everyone.
Well, no, we were just doing for
No,
the
that
promo
makes sense.
purposes,
That makes
the tagging, so that way
Oh.
people. Yeah.
I should have done that then. My bad.
No, that's cool.
Next time.
No, that's why we put that on there so that we can tag you guys, so that way it, you
I
can
gotcha.
share it, like it, whatever, and then your crew can see it and
That
everything
makes
else.
sense.
And then who knows, you might have some new photographers.
Maybe so.
Hey, real quick, do we want to pause for the audience real fast? Because they've been chiming in with some comments here and there, and I don't know how far back they went, but I saw a couple of them. Something about my fortune cookie the other night. No, the fortune was way worse than that. Just a heads up, if y'all looking at fortune cookies lately, it's advice. It's not
It
fucking
is.
fortunes. It's
It
not
is
like
only advice.
it used to be like there's success in your near future or something like that.
Now
It
it's
was
like be a nice person.
yeah. Yeah.
I
I don't
don't get those.
It's like motivational.
Be a nice person.
Well,
Maybe you are a nice
It's
person
probably
already.
yours is probably don't be a salty.
did you hit a
bitch.
button?
Yeah, I played a little music in the background.
Oh, okay. So let's see here. No, Patrick already said hello to Deborah.
And Tracy,
Oh, yes, it's Tracy. And then Natalie said, that's definitely true. There will always be someone better, but that should give you the drive to achieve with the mentality, I want to be better than them.
I don't think that's a good mentality, actually.
No.
I think that mentality puts you in a state of like comparing yourself to someone else, which is always unhealthy, like, in my personal opinion, and also just
For me, it's
you know.
I
got a funny story about that actually, and it popped up on my Facebook memories a couple days ago.
Okay.
for me, it's not as humble
Mm-hmm.
that I like. I don't want to necessarily be better than you. Yeah, of course. If we're playing a game and it's a sport competition, of course I want to win. Of course
Yeah.
I do. But like,
Yeah, but you're a loser. You always
it's
lose.
like I have respect for you before and after the game. On the field, we're playing, and I'm playing. I want to play to win there.
yeah.
But when I'm done, if I lose, I'm not going to be a dickhead.
Right.
Yeah.
Not be a
Because you
sore
won.
loser. Yeah.
Well,
Or-
because
and-
I think about it like this. Like, if I were to compare myself to someone else or say, oh, they're doing good, like, I want to do better than them.
Yeah.
Like, I would say more or less, like, I want to strive to reach the same goals.
Mhm.
I want to strive to reach similar goals, and I want to shoot even further than that. But I think it really puts you in a negative mindset if you're thinking, like, oh, I want to be better than that person, because then you are ultimately comparing yourself and you're putting yourself in, a possibility of like getting hurt, getting let down, overwhelmed, whatever.
Yep.
Like it's definitely best to say, look at them, they're fucking killing it. That's great. Like I want to be right there with them and go about it that way.
And should I excel faster than them? So be it. If I don't, then
Well, it's
I'm
like,
gonna be
okay,
happy
well,
with
they
what
got there in this amount of time. Like, I want to challenge myself. You got to like turn it all back on yourself. It can't be about the
turn
other
it all on your
person.
clone.
Exactly. Your
So the
clone
story I was
the
going
next
to tell
time.
you is when I was in third grade, there was a kid named Brandon Jackson.
Mhm.
And he was like the smartest. You know how there's always like the smartest kid in the school type thing. So like my goal was to be smarter and get higher grades and everything than him.
Mhm.
Well, I realized like after near the end of third grade that was a dumb decision, dumb idea and ideology, because once I
don't think he called it ideology at that age.
no, I
but-
did not.
But you know now.
Yes.
That are stupid.
I'd be like, that is stupid.
There you go.
But no, and I realized
That
like
are dumb.
once I surpassed him, I was like, now what?
Exactly.
Because then I was like,
you have no
I
more
no longer,
competition.
I have no more competition, and I'm like, now I can just sit back and relax. No, like, and then I realized I was like, no, this is dumb. Like, I need to be in competition with myself.
Yeah.
And then that way I constantly am pushing myself, constantly raising the bar, and then
Mhm.
you're never, static. You're never like
Right.
at a plateau, if you will. Whereas like once I beat him, I was like, okay, now I'm at a plateau. Now
Right.
what?
It's like, and I think it's hard for people to look at their own, like where they want to go, because they may not know the next steps. And I think that's where it does come in, where it's good to look at other people
Mhm.
and see, okay, well, maybe like you can really study other people, like where, like what did their steps look like? What are the steps I can take to get there? Like, and using them as inspiration instead of like competition.
Well, and going back to what you were talking about, like all the jobs you don't want to do when you grow
Right.
up, like I kind of had that same mentality with all the people that I grew up around me, because they
Mhm.
were all like in tons of trouble. They're all doing drugs and they're all doing like all sorts of bad stuff. And I was just like watching their life literally fall apart. And I was like, okay, I don't want to be like that. So I'm not going to follow that path.
Yeah.
So it was
exactly.
like I learned what not to do by all the people that were around me growing up, and I'm like, holy shit, thank God. And it's funny, out of all the people that I grew up with around me, only one of them's still alive today.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's I know. I was like, holy. So that's a good reason why don't learn from your environment and don't repeat it if it's bad. Basically,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know how to do that. If you know how to learn from your environment, you're like,
Which
You-
means
you
you're
got a
not,
lot of
you're not
smarticle
always a
particles.
product of your environment. It doesn't
Exactly.
always happen. Not every time.
it doesn't
Right.
always
It does
happen.
if you let it.
That's
And
very
that goes
true.
back to mindset. I know.
I'm super big on mindset and like
Speaking
taking
of
control your
mindset,
own.
as a model coach, what advice do you have for aspiring models looking to break into the industry?
Be
Ooh, that's a
positive,
great
bitch. No, I'm
question.
just
Yeah.
Be in
Yeah.
competition with yourself, mother.
I mean,
kind of just.
so I think it's really important to build your confidence from like a real true standpoint of like you are truly confident with the person that you are, not like I'll be confident whenever I get all this cosmetic surgery done.
Yeah, I saw
Like-
your thing about anti-cosmetic, and I was like,
I feel very strongly about it, just because I think like I hear young girls are getting like their tits done at 15, and it's like, girlfriend, whoa, like I'm 24, my body's not even done yet. Like I still see it changing. Like it also
yeah, like wait till you have kids. Just chill.
right.
Just
It's like
chill.
you'll
right?
never be able to breastfeed. Like, and it's if you already have issues with yourself and you already don't love yourself, getting anything done is not going to help you. So I think models need to have internal confidence and actually believe in themselves, actually love themselves, and know what that is and what that means.
And
But
for you guys out there, that's an automatic red flag. If a girl's got more plastic on the outside, chances are she's fake on the inside too. Ding, 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 ding. Sorry, I had to say
That's
that.
wise. That's wise.
That's from personal experience too.
Yeah,
I bet.
well, you know, and I've come across like a lot of just women in general that do have work done or a lot of work done or whatever. And some girls really, they're like, you know, I just want big tits. And I'm like, girlfriend, go for you. Good for you. And they're, you know, already love themselves, whatever. Like, and that's great. But if you
Yeah.
already have that and that's still what you want to do, fucking go for it. But I do believe that you need to learn to love your true self before you go and try to change the outside, because it's not going to change how you feel about yourself on the inside. It's not.
Right.
You
They're
can't
like,
just
it'll
color
make me
it.
whole.
Well, I do have to say to all the plastic fake bitches out there, like, makeup doesn't make you beautiful on the inside unless you eat the makeup.
Oh my god.
That was so. You know what? That was so stupid. That really was.
I mean,
It's that Laffy Taffy
those,
rapper again.
the shallow bitches out there deserve it. I'm just
Oh God.
the real
Eat some
catty
crayons.
ones. Like,
But anyway, my
anyways, sorry.
other
I digress.
you're fine. I forgive you. Your other so the other things that I recommend for anyone out there trying to get into modeling, interested and pursuing it more, number one, just learn to love and appreciate yourself the way that you are. At least try. And I'm on live. What's so funny? People are saying funny things. So the other thing is practice, and don't give up on yourself just because you get a couple no's. You're gonna get a lot of no's. You're gonna get a lot of you're not tall enough, you're not skinny enough, you're not curvy enough, you're not whatever. Your skin's too light, your skin's too dark, it's not the right color, it's not the right shade. But it's not personal, you know, and you can't take any of it personal. And if you really love it and it's really something you want to do, you just have to keep going for it. I worked for free because I loved it so much. I worked for free for almost a decade.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
You should
But
tell
I
your
built
That's
my
a
skill
long
set.
time.
Right. I
Yeah.
built my skill set up. And now I have no problems getting bookings. And that's because I took time in my craft, and I still take time in my craft. And my philosophy is like, if I can teach it to other people, then I really know what I'm doing. And so I challenged myself in my coaching, and I did teach with the school that I went to also whenever I was 19. And that was wonderful. And I realized how much I absolutely love teaching. And one of my students actually is in New York and signed with a big agency out there, and she's doing great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I think I've got like 2 or 3 of my past students that are signed with agencies in New York.
Cool.
So this is a person that wants to see her team win.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just
Oh,
about
definitely.
that's
So going
the-
back to your 10 years of your decade of doing stuff for free,
Mhm.
well, what people don't realize that aren't in the industry is that's actually like going to college,
Literally.
but you're not paying to go to college. You're actually learning on the job training,
Yep.
and you're utilizing that information. So, and like that's why like whenever I did like extra work and stuff like that, I was
Mhm.
actually paying attention to the directors and the producers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and learn their styles, because if you're on enough sets, you learn all the different styles and all the different angles and all the different lighting techniques
Right.
and all the different things that go into it.
Right.
And like you just use that for your arsenal. And it's like you're not going to learn that shit in a book. I'm sorry, you're not going to learn that in a class.
No, you're not.
No.
I mean, a lot of people that go to film school still, have trouble with some of those things. But I mean, it's real life experience
Yeah.
in anything and everything. Any job that you have that's really going to help you have a full grasp on it. And it's same thing in modeling. Like anyone starting out, I'm like, if you're getting into it just to make a quick buck, this is not the industry for you.
Yeah.
But if you're getting into it because you actually like it, because you actually want to learn about it, learn about the industry and build it like a business. Like I do consultations on how to do your taxes, because models have no idea how to do their taxes for this type of business.
I think really like schools need to teach kids how to do their taxes and like
if they just
actually
knew in general. Yeah,
just
my mom.
like budget. Teach them what a fucking budget is. Most people my
Hey,
age
they had that.
still some people older than me still don't know what the fuck a budget is or how to do one.
Okay. Well, you know what? I learned in my day when y'all were like nothing. Anyway,
You mean when we were still keeping a butt? I'm sorry. I'm not.
No. I'll let her take care of everything.
Smart.
Yeah. I mean, she wasn't around, of course. And then y'all were like, little kids still shitting in your diapers and shit.
Probably saving my allowance better than he was keeping.
Yeah,
it.
exactly. I was still making a profit.
That was good. That was a good one. We learned how to write checks. That's all we did.
Yeah, hot ones. Because he didn't know how to fucking budget.
I never wrote a hot check. Never.
You're right. It just bounced a few times.
A few times to the bank. That's it.
Okay. Fair enough. All right.
Hey, that's funny. Whatever. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's very sound advice to teach them what to do with their money. I mean, perfect example. Look at Mike Tyson. Like, he was making shit tons.
Examples.
I know, but I mean, just
What about Wesley
Well, I mean, just
Snipes?
like-
I mean, there's a million examples of it, but I'm just
Celebrities
saying.
in general.
Yeah.
Plenty
Talk
of
about Mike
celebrities that get paid
Mhm.
millions and millions. And the thing that I was very lucky that I was taught early on, because whenever I first really started, I had an agent and a manager.
Mhm.
So my manager, like, she instructed us on everything, but especially how to budget, how to take care of your money, because the thing is, acting or modeling, you never know where your next gig's going to come from. So you have to know how to save. You have to know how to do your taxes properly so you don't get audited and then get everything jacked up. But I was also lucky because my mom is an accountant. So
See, and that's where I got my business sense too. Was my dad was
Right. So
I
my
thought it was your
dad's
mom.
owned 3 businesses, and then my mom was the accountant for everything. So she always made me do my own taxes at
Yeah.
and I
Oh,
started having to do
nice.
taxes at 14.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to get like a worker's permit for Texas because you can't work under 16.
Mhm.
It may be lower now,
Yep.
but
Well,
but yeah. So I had to get that, and so I was making enough to where I had to do taxes on it.
I was able to work as a bagger at Tom Thumb at 15, so it was under
Yeah.
16. But yeah, I
Yeah.
learned. My parents taught me how to do taxes when I was 17, and even
Mhm.
now I use a tax person at this point. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of paying. Please get me let me pay as
Yeah,
little
my
as possible.
dad is like
Honestly.
he
Yeah.
is the man when it comes to Dad. Can I deduct this? No. I'm like,
Yeah.
Damn, but I have a whole entire room dedicated to my house to a podcast.
So
I
where,
got all this expensive shit in there.
Wait,
He's
no,
like,
no, you can. You can deduct this entire room. Take the square footage,
yeah,
Mhm.
and you can deduct it. I do
Yeah.
that.
you can do that.
Yeah, my dad's like, no. He always tells me no. I'm like, but I just bought like
You can-
$10,000 worth of
Bro,
cameras.
you can deduct
No.
almost anything, and people have no idea.
Well, so you can deduct it if what though? If he proves that he uses it for work, because you have to work from home a certain percentage.
Yep,
Because I
there's
tried to pull
percentages
that.
and
I
shit,
tried
yep.
to get my tax guy to do that. I was like, look, I've got an office. I was like, this is at least 12 square feet.
Mhm.
I was like, I even aimed low, and he's like, man, he goes,
Yep.
unless you can prove you're at home at 50% of the time or more.
Y'all
you-
need a better CPA.
And I have 3 cars, and I was like, well, I should be able to write off at least 1, maybe
Yeah.
2.
So I think the key is to have an LLC.
Yeah, that's the key. That is the key, actually, because
So,
then you
I
can
have
get
an
away with.
LLC.
Well, that's how you can get away with.
Yeah.
More. If
Oh
you're-
yeah, absolutely. If you had an LLC,
Yeah, you can get away with so much.
Is your
more,
LLC?
so-
Is it in Texas, or did you do what those weirdos?
It's in Texas.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Mhm.
Thank God.
I did it the right way.
Okay, good.
Devin, I thought
I
it,
figured. I just want to make sure.
Devin, I thought it was your mom that taught you how to do taxes.
No.
Writing down and saying, "Fuck you, Devin. Carry the 1, carry the 2, Devin. Damn it."
Everything my mom taught me, she does not utilize in her life currently.
Ah, okay. All
I
right.
mean-
Like manners.
have a drink.
Manners. That's comical.
it is comical, and it's the the
It's true.
best jokes are true, and
They
that's like,
are, right?
well, I mean, when she gets to a certain point,
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
starts off with manners.
No,
okay?
she was a recruiter, so she was good at finding talent, which that's where
at
I'm
one
actually.
point.
At one point, yeah.
A
What
recruiter
makes
for-
you what makes you want to fucking work here? And how do you know you're a good fit for my fucking job?
Yeah, really, no shit.
Why the fuck should I hire you?
How do I?
You know what? You're
good?
gonna go through a week's training without fucking pay. You understand me?
You need to.
but
you need to show that you can do it better than me, or I'm gonna fucking do the job anyways and not hire you.
Yeah.
and then I'll just take
You
your
want
pay.
anything? You want anything done? You want anything done? You gotta fucking do it yourself, damn it.
Your mom sounds lovely.
I
She
mean,
is.
She's great.
if you're on her good side,
Yeah,
Only
if you're on her good side, yeah.
if you're on her good side before she's 7 shots in.
Oh, okay.
She's known as the shot lady out at the
Specific.
lake.
She is the shot. She is the shot lady, and
The shot queen.
she's pretty good when she drinks just beer. But when those margaritas get flowing, man, Liz gets to going. Anyway.
She gets out of She gets out
Does
of the
your
boat.
mom watch the podcast?
Sometimes she
Sometimes
does.
she does.
They
Sometimes she does.
occasionally-
How can you
If I
make
get a text here in a few minutes, we'll know that she
How
tuned in.
How come y'all making fun of me? Because it's fun, Liz.
Yeah, she will chime in every once in a blue moon, but she has not seen an episode yet of where we're talking
about
shit.
Yeah, but you know what? His dad Jim could be watching and he could be laughing the whole time.
Oh yeah, he would.
That is Liz fucking spot on. Dad, what are you watching? Nothing.
So, all right, I gotta ask a question. So it's what? How many years you say altogether modeling?
12.
12 total. So out of those 12 total, I mean, what for you? I know it's always different for somebody else. It's just situational. But what did you find the most challenging aspect of the whole of everything in general?
Honestly, believing that I was like worthy of being paid, that people would actually pay me to do my job, because like I loved it so much, but I always thought that I had to go the agency route.
Right.
And agencies do not pick me up. But freelance, I mean, it's my full-time job. It's my entire income.
Yeah.
I do great with it. And I think for me, it was just a matter of finding my lane where I fit in, finding my niche, and figuring out how to really do it and make it full-time. I mean, I remember, I think February 2022. So it's been about a year now that I have been full-time with no other part-time job.
Okay.
And I took that leap last year, and it's been great and
don't know
very
till you take
thankful.
it.
Right.
Right.
And I was literally working like 5 jobs, like pretty much all of 2021. Modeling being the primary thing. I was traveling I was going between Tyler, Dallas, Austin, and Houston, like almost weekly.
So I could kind of see, I mean, I could kind of appreciate why a business or somebody booking you for a shoot. I could see why they'd want to work with you directly rather than go to a middleman.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know this from my old school drug dealing days. Rather go to the source.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, there's less negotiation. You don't have to talk to the person to talk to the model, and then let the model's response go back to the person, and then they, you know what I mean?
Then you play telephone
Yeah,
where
you know what I'm
like
saying?
things
Like,
get twisted, words get twisted, and
Yeah.
yeah.
your agent's trying to sell you on something just to get a little more percentage out of it or
Right.
something, and then maybe in this, like in an agency, kind of fuck you a little bit on the money side.
Sometimes they do.
lot.
I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes you just may not know actually
Yeah.
what is really being negotiated, what's going
Yep.
on. And sometimes it's like, the first booking that I ever got with my agency was with this lady who was building her photography portfolio. She wanted agency quality models, ended up hiring me. I still have those pictures. Not my favorite pictures of myself, but I
Yeah.
have them. My mom loves them.
Okay.
Of course.
The pay was $120. I got $60 of that. My agency got the rest of it
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. I worked for a company.
because I had an agency and a manager. So
Oh.
they basically took half. They took
Yeah.
50%, and I think my manager got 30. My agency got 20%.
Well, that's better than some of the contracts I've read.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Some of the contracts I've read, because I own an entertainment company,
Mm-hmm.
and like I wouldn't touch or even talk to people if they were under contract and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But then I started reading some of these contracts.
they can be
Literally,
insane.
if they left to go work at Chick-fil-A and made money, all that money was
Yeah.
theirs.
Oh,
I was
that's-
just like,
and that's my thing. Like,
what the
absolutely not.
fuck?
Like,
Yeah.
read your contract.
yeah, and like people don't read them; they just start signing because they're so excited.
Part of the
you
problem,
know?
also, especially in the modeling and acting world, like a
Mhm.
lot of people don't know how to read contracts.
Yes, that's very true.
Again, lucky. My
Yeah.
parents own businesses. I know the jargon and the language because of my dad.
Yep.
Like, and I just have that very business savvy side of me. And but man, that's one of the things that I teach in my coaching is how to read your contract, what to look for.
Yep.
If it sounds shady,
Probably
and
is.
2 + 2 is equaling a fish, something's probably fucked up. Like if
I like-
2 + 2 is not equaling 4 and it's equaling a fish, you got an issue.
Patrick, you remember the
So-
herds?
The
Hold on one
what?
second. You remember the herds?
Oh yeah.
So the mother was, I think she's a male. What is the postmaster?
Right.
She's postmaster general, and then I forget what the father does or whatever. Anyway, they came to me and they were like, "Hey, we got this contract. We're kind of unsure about it. Like, we don't know if it's like a good deal, blah blah blah." And that was one of the ones that I read that literally
Yeah.
like if she had left to do anything. And it was just like, and if anything was ever given to her, like let's say she did a promo
Yep.
and they gave her stuff,
Right.
it was
Yeah.
like property of them.
Yep.
I was like going,
I've
run,
heard that.
Insane.
run,
So-
don't sign.
So it's crazy that y'all bringing that up because believe it or not, this has a lot to do with the strike that's going on in Hollywood right now.
Yes.
So people,
Oh my God,
Yeah, we'll get into
When-
that
when-
in a second. But
when people scream about like, what's the big deal? Well, they're not acting this and that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not just it. These companies also contract them similar to models, multi-million-dollar contracts, and the people that know how to negotiate their contracts, they negotiate a fee to show up anywhere. So not only are they not, because like clubs rely on their publicity when they show up there, like, hey, so-and-so is going to be here tonight. They're getting paid for that. The thing is it's not just striking from doing pictures. It's striking from going almost anywhere.
premiere, red carpet
Yeah,
premiere,
Any
anything
ra-
like
yeah,
that.
and it goes so far beyond just movies. It goes to appearances, restaurants, sponsorships, etc. And it's the same sandwich that y'all are talking
Do
about.
you know exactly what they're fighting for or what they're fighting over?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a very good
Well, I wanna
idea.
hear-
I
I wanna-
do not.
Okay, well, let's
I
hear your
have-
version.
I haven't like read it.
I want to hear your version and I want to hear Patrick's, and then I will tell you mine.
Well, I mean, honestly, the biggest rumor that I've read around it, and
Uh-huh.
again, until I'm there, it's still rumor, even though it's news.
Okay, let me hear your
AI,
interpretation.
AI, and what they're able
Okay.
to do, and not only that, what they
This
are
is the
getting
reason why I
paid
asked that
because of
question.
AI.
Yeah, but what do you know? What about AI that they're so?
Because they're cutting people out, from what I understand, and the writers are getting cut out.
Okay, Patrick, what do you think?
AI.
No, what do you think about the?
Mine
the,
is-
the biggest
Yeah.
reason.
Mine is AI, and the thing is,
But what about the
okay,
AI? That's-
if you just give me a minute.
Okay, go ahead.
God,
Jeez,
Jesus.
give me this.
This time it's not Andy. All right. Anyway, okay. So it's about AI, and then if they film you, they could put you as background actors too.
Yep.
That's part of it.
It's part of it. Yeah,
That's part of it. Put
the
you as
intellectual
background actors. Just like if all four of us went and say was in a Dennis O'Neil thing,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we would sign our image release, our contract, or
Oh, I'm
it-
so glad you're bringing this up.
Yeah,
the
no,
image,
That's why
the
yeah.
image release,
Mhm.
and you're giving your image away.
Your likenesses.
Yeah, for like the rest of your life.
Mhm. Yep.
And so anyway, and if there's another scene where say us three
Mhm.
were in it, he can go ahead and put us three.
They can
In
use your
there-
likeness.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
and they can
likeness, yeah.
use that.
So,
Oh.
has anybody watched Black Mirror?
No.
Yes.
The first episode of this season is exactly what he's fucking talking about.
I didn't even know
That's
the new
so weird.
season aired, so I need to check it out.
So
yeah.
it starts out like what he's talking about. This lady signs up for like Berry Stream or something like that, and it's supposed to be Netflix.
Yeah.
All right. And next thing you know, like she comes home with her like fiance or something. She starts watching it, and it's her life for like the last 24 hours. And she's like, "What the fuck?" And it's all fucked up. She goes to her lawyer.
Mhm.
And her lawyer's like, when you signed up for Berry Stream or whatever, it was in the terms and conditions.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so fucked
Like
up.
you have
It's
to be
such a
so
mind fuck.
careful these days,
Right.
especially with AI. And I have tried my best to stay away from it, but I'm sure people have used AI to edit and whatnot. But I
I have
When-
5 years of AI
He's
experience.
like,
Really?
Yes.
He's
Okay.
yeah,
Like-
oh AI.
What do you-
AI. Oh, good God.
So I
AI.
think it's bad. I don't agree with it. I think that especially because with the strike, one of the things that they're saying is not only can they use your likeness, but like they can take
I thought
it.
you didn't
and-
know about this.
I read a
Okay.
little snippet.
Okay, let me hear.
So did I. That's
Um,
why.
So
They can use your likeness.
anyway,
Okay,
they
yeah.
can use your likeness,
Mhm.
and but not just that, but like they can basically use your image without paying you anything further,
Yep.
like forever,
Because it's not you.
because it's not
Yeah.
technically you, but also
Somebody who looks like you.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so hold on.
But it is
So
you.
who else is striking on August 1st?
That one I don't know.
I don't know.
no, I don't know.
UPS drivers.
Oh, UPS. Oh, yeah, I heard that.
UPS.
But it has nothing to do with
Guess
AI.
who?
Bus
I know that, but who
Okay.
else is striking in the middle of August?
Who?
The pilots.
Didn't American Airlines already?
Southwest pilots are striking. Americans
okay.
right behind them. All
I was
right,
gonna say
anyway, go
Americans
ahead.
already. So
Yeah.
no, so I was gonna fill in the blanks.
Yeah,
so
please
y'all
do.
are all like partially correct, but the
Partially.
biggest thing is of why they're so upset is because they've already scraped all of the content that's out there.
Mm.
So like, give you a perfect example. Sarah Silverman has a lot of her jokes and stuff that are already out, and so what happens is the AI goes to like Reddit and goes through all these sources that where your content is public,
Mhm.
and it basically scrapes it, which means it goes and absorbs all that data and all that information. And once it has it, it doesn't matter if you sue them, it doesn't matter anything because you're never getting it back. That's the scary part.
Mm.
And so what it can do, and you can do this right now, is you can say, hey, write me a joke in the tone of Sarah Silverman, and it will literally write you a joke in her exact.
That's
and then
like why? Like why did somebody make this?
Did you see the Joe Rogan podcast they redid?
No.
Looks just like him. Looks
Yep.
real.
sound,
and
everything.
sounds, and he had to publicly come out and threaten, if somebody uses my likeness, trust me, I will come after you. because
So
I've signed it."
here's, I have a solution too. So the solution is
Not
just
use it.
No. The solution is to use it, but with the caveat, just like with Napster and everything else, everybody was streaming live
Right.
music, and right, and so
Mhm.
they realized the music industry is getting affected. It's the same shit over and over again,
Okay.
just like how everything's cyclical. So what happens is, what needs to happen is they decided, hey, we're gonna pay to use the rights to the music, right?
Right.
Same exact thing needs to happen. Hey, yeah, you can go scrape all my content and stuff, but you're gonna pay me to use it. And that's
Right.
the main reason why this strike is happening, is because there is no terms, and they're still trying to negotiate. I forget which industry it is, but it's one that you're like going, dude, that industry. Oh, social media.
Yeah.
They're still trying to regulate social media. That shit's been around fucking 15 years.
They're still trying.
Like that's
they're-
how slow they act, and that's why
Yeah.
the strike is happening, because they already see what's going on social media. It's not regulated. I mean, look at Twitter, look at all the shit that's going on with that. Like it's completely, it's a
Yeah.
free for all.
Yeah.
And then AI is like obviously exponentially worse, because that's your bread and butter, that's your money, that's your likeness. Now here's the other scary caveat: because they have already the content and there's no getting it back, they don't need actors, they don't need actresses, they don't need
Exactly.
writers, they don't need any of that, because they can actually take your image and alter it 10% and still not be bound by copyright and everything
As long
else.
as it doesn't, if one thing is off,
Yep.
just one little thing is off,
10%, that's it. Like they
Yeah.
could put a mole in your forehead. You know what I mean? And
I,
like
I
that's
would
enough.
hope they wouldn't, but anyways, that's around the contract. Sorry, I went into that. Like,
No, it's great.
got
No, this is great.
sidetracked.
This is
Yeah.
a great conversation, because everybody has their own perspective, and it's interesting to
Yeah.
hear what y'all grab.
I'm just
from.
really curious to see where it takes us in the world.
It is. It is. It's,
Because
what do you foresee? What do you foreshadow?
honestly, I don't foresee getting rid of like writers and actors and all of that, just because that is like raw human expression. And yes, you can do that with AI, but you can't necessarily get the same amount of like creativity. Like your people are just gonna have to amp it the fuck up to stay relevant, basically.
So you are close and really like teetering on what needs to happen, and that is, or what is going to happen. So the way AI works is it's data set, so it's old content, right? So you just have to be relevant. You have to have new content, because AI is not going to go create new shit for you. It's going to take old shit, basically
Right.
regurgitate it,
Right.
twist it, and then say, here you go. But in order, to your point, you've got to be relevant. You've got to be just raising being in competition with yourself. Raise
Really?
your own bar and
Yeah,
compete
but
with yourself.
If we ever move into, and I get where you're going with that, you're right. You have to raise a bar. But if somebody ever starts experimenting in the with a quantum computer or a quantum system, we will never be able to keep up with the creativity of an being of that intelligence. That's the problem.
Well, yeah, the quantum computing is
as
a whole,
fast
a
as that
whole
would
other-
think. Like
that's a whole nother. And then you mix AI with quantum computing.
if you think
fucking
somebody's
nuts.
not doing that already, you're fucking mistaken.
Me too, cock. What's it? Cock too.
Jesus Christ.
that guy.
Corona? What?
Corona.
COVID?
COVID.
COVID?
No,
China?
Corona?
China?
no,
What?
not that guy.
Who? What
Wait.
The
Biden?
scientist.
Biden?
No, not Biden.
Oh, okay.
He's
Oh,
definitely
yeah.
not a scientist.
No, he is artificial intelligence. That's for real.
Artificially not intelligent.
Yeah,
Is
if
it
you-
better? Is it World War III?
yeah.
Is it better?
He's like
Zelensky?
if AI was a failed experiment.
Well, I mean, so there's
He
at
is a
least
failed
promise
experiment.
because, like you said, AI just takes old shit.
Mhm.
So people just have to keep creating new shit and show like.
It just depends on how
Yeah.
fast AI grows, and
Yeah.
if there's no safe.
It's gonna grow
There's no
pretty
safety.
fast.
There's no safety checks. That's the problem.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
before we get too deep into this, there was an audience member that asked a really good question to you, because we actually had somebody that because we talked about the scams in the modeling industry,
Mhm.
especially with the modeling agencies. But
There's a lot
the
of.
thing we didn't touch on yet is also the girls that get scammed by supposed like come to my hotel room and shoot in a Cowboys jersey or something like that, and then it turns into a sex trafficking situation.
Yeah.
All right. So what the question was, we actually had somebody on the show that talked about it, but how would you lead young girls trying to get into the modeling industry to not be taken advantage of? I've heard a lot of horror stories where girls thinking they have to do inappropriate things to get ahead.
Never.
Do you talk to that? Do you talk to them about that in their coaching?
Absolutely. Part of my coaching is safety. Because here's the thing. If you are new, number one, if you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian needs to be with you at every single shoot. I don't care. They need to be with you,
Zane.
the
Yep.
entire time
Yep.
to make sure, because you are young, naive, and a lot of those girls are so anxious. They're so desperate to get anything
Mhm.
that they will do those things, and they will be coerced into doing those things, unfortunately.
You need to go watch our podcast where we interviewed Zane, Zayne, Zayne. Zane.
Yeah, Zayne.
Yeah, you definitely need to watch that because
Okay.
it's really like
I found out some unfortunate news after. I'm not going to go into what it was
Yeah.
because that's not what we're about, but I found out some unfortunate news that kind of partially discredited the show, but the thing is there's still that real threat out there. So
No, 100%. And I hear horror stories all the time. Here's the thing. If you don't know how to handle yourself, carry yourself, I have a very strong professional boundary. I set the fuck down. I really don't have any issues because I set that. Because no, I'll adjust my own outfit. Thank you.
Yep.
Oh, no, please don't touch me.
Yeah.
Someone
Hadouken!
also
That's a Street
like,
Fighter reference. Sorry.
You
away from bitch.
But if you like, I don't believe in being too friendly, especially to a photographer that is not. If you're shooting, I shoot in hotel rooms all the time, Airbnbs, like in-home studios. I've also been doing this for 12 years.
Mhm.
So that's the difference. I carry a 9mm gun. And whenever I have a taser, pepper spray, knife, all of those things, I also took Krav Maga in boxing. I've got mad anger issues, and I will fucking punch
How
you.
long did you
Nice.
take Krav Maga?
I took like a 6-week course, but I took
It's
boxing.
a violent martial art, man.
Yeah, I took boxing
Hell yeah.
for like a year and a half, 2 years.
nice.
But I also have 3 older brothers, so
Yeah,
I fought
so-
them
There
all
you
the
go.
time. you
I'm
know?
sure with 12
How you on that speed bag? Are you
It's
a
been a
monster
while.
on that speed
It's
bag?
been a while.
I mean, also, I would assume, and I don't mean to assume, but I would assume after 12 years, if like a call or something or a vibe doesn't check out, and you're like, yeah, no, I'm good.
I 100% believe in listening to your intuition. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
tell by the way that someone is reaching out and talking to you. You can tell in their verbiage what they're asking for. Always set your boundaries clear as fucking day. And if you feel any weary feelings about it, but you really need to go because money, take someone with you. I have bodyguards that you can hire that I used to hire whenever I first started doing anything nude or with less clothing or whatever, because my friends are not reliable. They're just not. But if you give somebody money to come with you and you pay them $25 an hour, yeah, they'll show up. And take a guy with you. I don't care if it's a guy friend and you're naked, whatever. Oh no, I'm going to take a girl more comfortable. Tell him to sit outside of the room if you don't want him to look at you, but you need to take a fucking man with you. Because they do not take women seriously if you're actually in a dangerous situation.
Wouldn't be bad to take an armed man with you too, like
exactly.
And I don't mean their arms. I mean like a fire.
Yeah.
Although I will preference that you got to make sure that their aim is good because I hired a bodyguard and he supposedly had a bodyguard license.
No.
And we took him to the gun range and he was the worst shot. And I said,
"That's terrible."
I go, "You are not. Whatever you do, you are not carrying a gun."
Look,
that's literally what I told him.
I can hit a softball in the middle of a pond with a 9mm. So
Nice.
if that tells you anything,
Yeah.
But the other thing, someone made a really good point on my live. They need to learn how to vet their photographers and what
Yes.
that means. Vetting your photographers or whoever you're working with, making sure they're legit. You say, "Hey, do you have any references that you can share with me?" If they don't share references, it's a no-go.
Yep.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Also,
100%.
if you see anyone that's tagged, or whenever I see a model that's not tagged, I will go through their likes, their comments, their whoever they follow, find that model and reach out to her and ask her how her experience was because she wasn't tagged.
Yeah,
that's another one. A lot of times maybe they're like, "Oh, I just wanted to remain anonymous," or whatever the situation.
Yeah.
Reach out, ask about your photographers, ask about who you're working with. I feel like you can tell by their portfolio. Some of them are just what we call GWC, guys with cameras. I work with a lot of those people.
I like the acronym. Yeah. Guys with cameras.
You know, I work with a lot of those people. They're cool. I have a great time. I get the images. Some of them are great. Some of them not. It just depends. But
and that's the sad reality of it. Everybody thinks they're a photographer because they got a camera. Like, no, that does not make you a photographer.
Not no.
But then they shoot an auto, and I'm like, oh my god.
Then they shoot an auto.
I detest you.
Yeah. But looking at their portfolio, the people that they work with, asking about them, like doing all of those things. And if you reach out to a model, they know what's up. They're going to give you the tea, and no matter what they're going to.
And going back to what you said about the vibe and intuition, there was a couple photographer companies that I interviewed and stuff like that. And I was just like, dude, they're in it for all the wrong reasons.
Literally,
I was like, I don't want them under my umbrella. I don't want them under my name.
Right.
I don't want anything to do with them because that's a liability waiting to happen.
Right.
And if they fuck up, it looks bad on me.
Right.
Because I hired them.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Yeah.
So I gotta like throw this out. So we take shots for new listeners, and you've got some people in your live, and we haven't seen any new listeners this evening. Would they be willing to go to our frustration page and go live, or do they want to stay seated and we just take a shot for them anyways?
Wait, what do you mean?
So they're watching your live right now, right? So if they go to the frustration page right now, we are live also.
Yeah.
So if they go and they comment in the section new listener, we take a shot for them.
Oh, okay.
If they don't, it's all good.
If you guys want,
come check out the show, check out the page.
If you know me, you know I don't really drink.
No, yeah, she doesn't.
You can have a shot of that water.
Yeah,
we'll take.
I
my
was
water's
thinking about
empty,
that.
but it's okay.
This one, I don't. Is this
You guys go to the frustration
see if there's
podcast.
water.
What, on like Facebook or YouTube, wherever?
Facebook,
Facebook
or
Facebook
YouTube.
Live,
Yeah.
and you comment, they'll take a shot for you. All new listeners.
Yeah.
Facebook or YouTube.
So they gotta say, hey, new listeners.
You gotta say, "Hey, new listener."
Yep. Frustration Unlimited.
Or just say, hey, Katie, and we'll know.
So
Yeah.
Molly,
Yeah.
you were like, any new listeners, say hello, new listeners. And so Molly goes, hello, new listener.
Oh, God. Molly.
Hey, Molly, type the F word, please.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. My daughter's 29. I still don't like it when she uses the F word. I just don't.
That's funny.
Just something about it that I just don't
Just
like
tell
to
me it's
hear.
okay.
You're a good dad. I mean, my dad, I'll be like, I'll have a cussing fit with my dad. My dad cusses.
Oh,
like a
well, she
sailor.
does too.
Thank you.
She does too. But I mean, it's like,
I don't think it bothers him.
Yeah. But
My parents are a little bit unconventional, though. They're a little wild.
David Price says, hello, everybody.
Is that a new one?
That's a new one.
Cousin
All right.
David.
Looks like we're
What's up, David?
You have to take a shot.
Cousin David, how you doing? How you doing?
So, Devin and Patrick, or just Patrick, because you've been good with the guest. How did you hear about Kate?
Well,
Great question.
do what?
So that's a great question.
Do I
Well,
need to get the pour spout?
Well, if you shut up, I'll say it.
Sorry, fucker.
Oh,
Asking
you
a
didn't say
question.
nothing? Okay.
was me.
All right. I'm sorry, Andy. Andy, I'm sorry.
What in the hell?
Shut up, Devin.
Let him finish.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I followed Katie on Instagram. We were originally friends on Facebook,
Okay.
and everything. And so and then you popped up on my Instagram. And I went, oh, hey, okay, well, we're friends on what you call it,
Facebook.
on Facebook. And so I started following you, and and I thought about it a couple days before I even said anything. Hey, Katie, you want to come and be on our podcast? Because I saw that what you'd done. I went to your website and everything. I went, she might be pretty good. So anyway, and then that's when I sent you the message, and everything. And going back to the messages, what you were talking about, hopefully mine was a little professional.
Yeah, no, it was.
And
well, so whenever you reached out to me, I was actually on a social media break, and it was my manager texting you back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, But if it looked like funky or weird, he would have not said anything. But
I was surprised he didn't check out a video and be like,
yeah,
some of their content's a little risky.
Well, he's my manager, but he doesn't make any decisions for me.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair enough.
He more or less kind of helps me out where I need it.
Yeah.
It's very much my decision of where I need him. And
so and that's how that's how I
and
did it.
anytime, like I said, anytime we have a guest on, it's all about shameless self-promotion. Sell it, websites,
buy my book.
Wait, real quick.
We need to get into the book.
Yeah,
Talk
we need
about
to get
that.
right
we need to
after
get
the
into
shot,
book.
and also, do you have a website too?
I do.
All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about right after the shot right now, like it's a
All right.
commercial
Is
break.
this for David?
Commercial break.
Like commercial break.
This is for David.
David, cheers.
David and
I can't reach, but
I can't reach.
You understand.
Cheers.
David and his mother Becky.
Oh, shit.
May she rest in peace.
Good luck with that.
What is it?
That's gonna
that's
sting you.
beautiful.
Go.
What is it?
Just kick it back.
Witherspoon.
Whatever that is.
It's fancy schmancy.
It's Reese.
It's old fashioned.
Get it? It's Reese. Witherspoon.
fuck!
Shit.
It'll put a hair on your chest there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hold on.
That was good.
I got some.
That was
Was it a Spartacus?
that was surprising.
Just sprouting out.
So, back to the website first. What's your website? What is promoted on there? Talk to us.
So my website is www.katiemarieedwards.com. And it's like my lookbook, as well as a little about me section. It also has the link to my book. And then what else? I will be putting up, so I'm now starting a 6-week course for my coaching. I was doing one-on-one, and you can pick and choose how many times you want to do it,
Mm-hmm.
But then girls kind of dropped off the face of the earth, and I didn't like that. I want whoever I'm coaching to be consistent and not waste my time.
Committed.
Yep. So now it's a 6-week program. You can do it in person or virtually. The in-person one is the best because one of the days you will get to shadow me on a shoot. And then another day, once you get your first shoot set up, then I will go with you to that shoot.
Right.
And coach you in action.
Now,
So it's a good deal.
So, I'm sure you set up a lot of your shoots too, but also photographers come to you, correct?
Yeah, I don't typically reach out to photographers at all.
So,
actually.
okay. So,
Most models. Well,
how do they book you through your social media or through the website, or
So
how?
they can book me through the website. Some people like to kind of chit chat about dates, times, this, that, and the other.
Right.
So I'll do it that way too. It just depends. So I've got my website where you can submit a proposal basically.
Okay.
And then I've got where you can actually click
Business
book
plan.
now, and it takes you to a scheduling where you can pick what you want, schedule your date and time, and then you submit a deposit. That is mainly for my out of town stuff because I've had way too many people just cancel me whenever I'm on my
yeah,
out
you
of
gotta
town
get your money.
trips,
Yeah.
and that hurts the budget because I
Yeah,
got
it
a
does.
certain budget.
So did you build the website, or did you have somebody build it? Or
I
what?
built it myself.
That's awesome.
If somebody has something like that, let's say it's a legit, they're not just canceling on you, sorry about your bad luck, but death and family really has to actually cancel now. Is there Is it like a deposit type thing, or is it just the full? They still pay you
It's
for
a
the full shit?
non-refundable deposit.
Okay.
So it's just a deposit. They don't have to pay me for the full thing. But
Okay.
I keep the deposit.
Do you do your
Yeah, that's
deposit
what I
like
was like,
basically half of whatever the total is?
Yeah, 50%.
that's what
Because
I
most
do.
people
yeah.
only book me for like 2-hour periods.
Yeah.
Some people
Oh
more.
yeah, at least.
Yeah,
Okay.
but especially if it's like a half day or a full day, I need that deposit for sure.
That
Yep.
makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, especially like when there's a lot of like flights and traveling and stuff involved, you got to budget that in. So like you got to work that into that
Right, because I
deposit.
pay everything out of pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I
So-
always try to make it at least whatever the deposit is to cover all of that other shit. So at least that way,
Right.
when I show up, I'm still at least breaking even,
Right, exactly.
or hopefully making a profit. But yeah,
Or as Devin says,
Exactly.
I don't open my camera cases for less than 500.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Should make that
Like,
less than 1,000.
damn it,
Should
I'm
bump that
broke. I just lost all my money.
Should make it $9.99.
Like,
99.
as soon as it opens, I'm like, fuck, my money's gone. Like, you didn't even take a picture yet.
I'm about to reach for it.
Yes.
You owe me a
No,
$9.99.
back it up. No, keep it locked. Keep it locked. Keep the lock on it. Don't even open the lock.
Don't
Keep
even
that
bother.
So we got your website out there, how you can be booked, how somebody can reach out to you for school. So let's go ahead and jump into the author portion. Talk to us about your
yeah,
book.
about the book and everything else. And that is that available on the website as well, or no?
Yeah, so it'll take you to there's a direct link. It says check out my book, and then it's like
Is it like an
Okay.
ebook or is it actually like
no, it's a hard copy book.
a hard copy?
Yeah. Yep,
like
yep,
it.
yep.
Very
I don't
cool.
think there's an ebook version out yet.
Okay.
I went through Dorrance Publishing. So
I was just gonna ask.
I
who
didn't do
you
self-publishing
Okay.
because I wanted it to be like it's in Barnes & Noble online, it's Target online, Amazon, and then you can get it directly through Dorrance's website.
Because I get people all the time asking me like about publishing books and stuff like that, and I'm
A lot
like,
of people do the self-publishing route, but I don't want to do
No.
all the marketing. I would rather pay someone else to do it, and
Yeah.
it's like bigger and better. Speaking of, I need to pay my publisher. I keep forgetting to do that. I owe them money still.
Hopefully.
I'm like, why haven't y'all done anymore? And then I'm like, I haven't paid them.
that's probably why they haven't done anything.
Hopefully
They
they're not
only work
listening right now.
as fast as the money works.
Well, see, and
That's-
that
I mean,
might
yeah,
be the good
yeah.
thing if you can get the digital version. At least you can take care of the monetization of that aspect.
Well,
to
they
pay
sent
for
me
their-
like 100 free books.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got a ton of, and I still have a bunch of them.
Where's our book? We don't get no autograph copy. What the?
I be forgetting that I'm an author.
She's like, I
Forget.
told you. She goes,
Damn.
she's like, I told you, I charge. Like they're free to me.
Yeah, they're free for me. They're all my author copies.
No, we
No.
had a Dragon Ball Z voiceover character, and then I just decided to use AI to create him as one of his characters.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so I had it printed and everything framed,
That's
and then I
cool.
had him signed it, and I was like going, I should do this for all like our guests in here because like
That
we're
would be cool.
200 fucking episodes in almost.
Yeah, that's
And I'm
Yeah.
like, we
episodes.
literally could fill up this entire house with all
to make us feel even older. Do you aware what Dragon Ball Z is?
Yeah, I used to play Dragon Ball
Oh,
Z.
right. Thank you.
Oh.
On the Wii.
on the Wii.
I was
Because
pissed.
that the original show was like came out when I was like fucking high school. In the
I never watched the
90s.
show, but I did play the game. So
They're actually still making episodes. I asked
Really?
them,
Yeah,
I was like,
so
"We're
he's still Chuck is still doing
Mhm.
Dragon Ball Z
That's
the
insane.
games.
I asked
Yeah.
them to do like was
In fact, we need to reach out back to him
Yeah.
because he wanted to talk about AI. So it'd be
Yeah,
I think he
yeah,
said
yeah.
something about Emperor Pilaf and or something like we had him do a voice and he did it and I was like, holy shit, I'm in my living room again after school. Like, it was weird. It was really
Kind of like
weird.
an after school special,
Right.
Yeah.
He didn't even try. He was like, and I was like, oh shit, that's
He-
crazy. So I'm
he's
just like
he's actually touring right now.
Is he really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Comic Cons,
Yeah.
getting that money.
I think he's in San Diego
that's where that bread is at.
coming
man.
up,
Yeah.
but he's SAG
Sounds a
too,
lot.
so he may not be doing nothing.
Wow, that would be great to
Yeah,
have him
'cause-
back in then
Because
to see how it's affecting. Yeah, I want to hear his
Yeah.
perspective. Hell yes.
I want to see how he challenges you, Devin.
Oh, bring it.
I know.
No, we talked off the air afterward, and he was like, "Hey, if you ever want to do an AI like show, he's like, I'm all for it." I'm like,
Oh, you and
"Hell
me.
yeah."
Wow.
Every time AI is mentioned, you're like, ooh,
Shot.
AI.
Oh. Oh, AI.
Oh, AI, tell me about the duality
Oh
of
my
man.
God, AI.
Devin posted a few months back or something because he was having one of those deep conversations with AI, and he like post the conversation. I'm not gonna lie, it's very insightful because it's AI, and he's asking it insightful questions and shit. And he's like, finally, someone I can have some kind of conversation.
Intellectually stimulating
yes,
conversation
and it
with.
said this and that, and I'm just like, so every time he mentions AI on the show, he's like, oh, AI, you know what?
And the AI,
I want to take you
and
out.
the AI, the AI
can I
character.
take you out on a date?
The AI, yeah, see, the AI character is even redhead too, and that's his kryptonite.
Oh, God.
Redhead.
I'm not a real redhead, so it's not real. Okay.
Yeah, but Devin, yeah, we always find
I noticed.
It's fading away.
Oh God.
My radar did not go off.
Salty over here, can't shut his mouth over here, and got a love infatuation with AI over here. That's how the triangle goes.
Amazing. Wow.
We're all fucked up.
What a group.
Basically, you know, I mean, it's-
Moral of the story.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay though. Whatever.
Anyway, so are we gonna talk about me or what?
I
We're
said
trying.
no. Same with self-promotion. You know what? She's absolutely right.
So you started talking about the book. You started talking about the
Okay.
publishing aspect.
So
And,
yeah, I went through Dorrance Publishing. They published 50 Shades of Grey and Aragon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what other ones. Those were just the two where I saw those and I was like, cool, this is legit.
I was just going to ask you what
Um,
made you decide to choose them with all the plethora of.
Well, I
companies.
submitted to a bunch. They're the ones that
50
accepted.
Shades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you read Aragon?
No, I watched the movie.
I did too.
It's a
I
great
didn't read
movie.
it. Don't get it
Great
twisted.
movie.
I didn't read it either.
Nah, I didn't read
Is
it.
that a
no.
Marvel?
I
no,
would.
It's
DC.
I think it's a dragon movie. It's
It's a
dragons, right?
dragon
Yeah,
movie.
dragon. I
It's
I watched
fantasy,
it one time.
Dragon, Aragon's like the Dragon Slayer. You should
Oh,
watch
don't
it.
know anything about it.
Oh my god,
It's
y'all are
not bad.
fucking
It's not a
missing
bad
out.
movie.
You need to open up your imaginations real quick.
I
Watch
do.
Aragon.
He opens his imagination when he's on crack coal.
Or what? Crack.
I'm cracked, Patrick.
Cool.
I had to.
If you guys are ready to get sad, I'll talk about my book.
Why are we going to get sad?
I was about to.
that?
I was about to ask her what.
I think I know what it's about.
Okay, so it makes other people sad, not me anymore. But so basically, my book has to do with like perseverance, and it's it's my memoir.
Okay.
So people are like, "Oh my God, you're only 24 years old," blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, but let me lay it out for you. Here's your Spark Notes."
Spark Notes. We used to call them Cliff Notes.
That too. See, I had Spark Notes.
What the hell is
and
Spark
AIDS
Notes?
It's like basically
Cliff
it's
Notes.
the same thing.
Oh.
But SparkNotes.com.
You gotta age yourself, bro. Like
Whenever I didn't want to read a book, I would go to SparkNotes.com and it would give me everything I needed to know.
Cliff Notes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing.
It's a
Yeah.
Same
little
shit.
yellow book.
No, I know what Cliff Notes is. I used to have it was called Bathroom Book, and it was literally this thick, and it had every fucking book
Okay,
known
well,
to man.
Ours
like,
was
literally.
online. Ours
Yes.
was online.
Okay.
Not in the toilet.
You know. Anyway.
I gotta find that book. It's probably worth a lot of money. Anyway, go ahead. Probably AI's already read it. Anyway.
Oh God.
So first part of the book is I talk about like family life. So I grew up in a violent household, both my parents alcoholics. And my parents do know that everything's in the book. They support me, which is amazing because they know it's not about putting their shit out there and embarrassing them. It's about helping other people.
Right.
And they see the bigger picture. And I basically talk about how that affected me whenever I was 13, that my brother committed suicide. I talk
Oh, wow.
about that. Then my other brother kept on trying to, and that was a whole ordeal. And then, so 13 was like a big year. So I got into my first abusive relationship at 13.
Damn.
I talk about
Wow.
that. It was also the first time that I ever was, I guess, really taken advantage of. But I also was like molested twice at a young age.
As
By
was
like
I.
family friend.
Yep.
And
Mine
so
was a family friend, but yeah.
let's see. 3 abusers, abusive household, violent household. Like I write about how one night my dad decided to punch the oven and break it because him and my mom got into a screaming match, and I got the honor of sweeping up the glass and mopping up the blood.
Have they gotten better?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So this, when
all
you were talking earlier in the intro and stuff like that, you mentioned that you like got sober at the age of like 16.
17.
17,
why? Is
yeah.
that why?
Yeah, no, that was kind of like I was like, whoa, like most people aren't even drinking at that age, and you're like, I got
Already
sober
Yeah.
at that age. I'm like, oh, wait, what? There's
So-
a backstory here,
Yeah.
but thank you for.
I had my first 40 ounce of 14. Thank you. 15. Sorry. 15.
Actually, you know, ironically, like when I flew to England, Birmingham, on the flight, they were serving like freaking champagne and shit. And that was like my first time that I was like, I looked at my mom, I was like, can I have one? She's like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
So, you know,
so
I was
I,
just like, party, motherfucker.
I got drunk for the first time at like 13. My brother threw a huge party, but I didn't have a drinking problem. I had a problem with, so I started smoking and drinking at 13. I smoked cigarettes, smoked weed, and drank, and then got into experimenting with other drugs. So I had a pill problem.
Oh.
I didn't have an issue with alcohol.
Any pill of preference?
Any opioid or benzo, pretty much, is what I...
Xanax and Cody.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. And I even got as far as, so my second abuser, he was a drug dealer, and he was also making his own pills. So I was, he didn't have a car, so really, I was dealing for him sometimes.
So you were the mule, basically.
I was the mule, and then they had a pill press, him and one of his friends, and I would go over there, and we would all hang out, and they would sit there, and
where do you get the ingredients?
So like, that's what, how does he get all the
dark web?
But he's got no car to get them. Like, how the fuck?
His friend did.
The dark web.
Okay.
It was a whole situation. With
You
him
kids
and this
these
other
days
guy.
got such easy access to. Like,
Yeah.
I can
No shit. I'll just order that shit. I've been delivered.
Making
literally,
pills
this
in
guy,
the
like,
90s is like
straight up
unheard
ordered
of.
it.
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I'm joking, but at the same time, I'm
it's
like,
true, yeah.
it's true. So proud.
So yeah. 3 abusive relationships, 7 rapists. You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
7?
So I talk about
Shit.
that and kind of go into detail about a lot of that. And the reason that I wanted to go into detail, my book originally was just me like speaking my truth. And then I was reading it to a friend one day in college, and I was like making a joke like, oh, how like my life could be a book, you know? And then it just kind of kept on coming to fruition, and I kept on writing it and building on the chapters. In college, I got married. The first guy that was ever nice to me, married him. Well, he ended up not being the greatest because, well, I'm not married anymore. He didn't mistreat me, but he did leave the country and then like ended up not really having any plans to come back. And then I found out that I was like a secret from his entire family. And like friends and stuff also. Granted, we did elope, but we were supposed to be like getting pictures done, and I was like telling people like my parents knew, and I was like, your parents' friends like no, right? Like, because it was this really weird thing where like he just refused to be in public with me. Like I'd be like, oh, like let's go to the pool, and you know, Denton is small. I went to TW. I met him in college. He went to UNT, and there's a certain pool where everyone goes to, and where like the parties are and everything. And I'd be like, oh yeah, like let's go like have like a fun pool day, like with your friends or whatever. And he would take me to a completely different place, and I would be like, so you know,
he's trying to hide you,
right? I was like, what's the deal here? He never wore his ring, and like I don't know, just a lot of
girl.
things
You got
added
so
up.
many red flags. Where's
many.
that intuition?
So
It was there, I just ignored it. I was hoping it rang. It was not true.
Did you go
like fuck that red flag? Fuck that other
throughout
red
the
flag.
years, whether off and on or still? Did you go to therapy at all?
I did, yeah. So I actually went to therapy my first year in college. After one of the guys that took advantage of me, I had an instance, and it was just really bad. It really hit me. And it was during the winter break, and whenever I went back, I was just kind of a mess, and I called in my RA, and I was like, hey, I'm not doing well. Like I need help. I don't know how to handle this. I just feel like really like I feel gross. And so I did therapy for several years. I say several, it's like 3 to 4 years. I think the last therapy session I did was in like 2020. But yeah, so right before, so my ex-husband was leaving, leaving America, going to Sweden. That week that he was leaving, I was in the middle of having a miscarriage.
Fuck.
And literally
Jesus
he was
Christ,
like,
man.
all right, he's like, well, I'll FaceTime you at your next appointment. And I was like, okay.
So you're with all this, so not only, you know, you kind of did therapy, but like it sounds, and this is just an outsider looking in, but it sounds like this book also, like writing it and realizing your truth and your story, like especially publishing it. Like, was that not a form of therapy
Oh,
for you?
100%.
Okay.
100%. Absolutely was. Yeah, the writing the book, once I got it published, I felt like I kind of put it to bed. Like
it.
once I finished it, I was like, it's done. Like
Mhm.
I am officially in like a new era of my life because I wrote it over the course of like 6 years. And so like a part of me writing it, like a lot of the stuff was happening as I was writing it also.
Yeah.
I have somebody you definitely need to talk to
Okay.
because she's actually similar experiences.
Mm-hmm.
She's actually writing a book right now. She
Okay.
actually sent me a copy of what she's written so far.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I'm so booked. I have like literally 12 clients right now. Actually, 13 as of today. Yeah, I'm completely
First world problems.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's a good problem to have, but I'm like,
It's
there's,
all AI.
there's one of me, and even AI can't help me. Unfortunately, I'm like, fuck.
Even there's a couple. My girl also says she feels like she had identical teenage years with you. She went through a lot of the exact same things that you.
Yeah. And it just, so basically in the book, I write about everything in detail and then my healing process. And my healing process looked a little bit, everyone's is different, right?
yeah.
So I talk about how it's not linear. It's not, there's
Not one size fits all.
right.
Yeah.
Like everybody's different. You have to find what works for you. But my conclusion to the book is victim mentality.
Mhm.
If you stay in a victim mentality, and a lot of people do, they don't even realize it. I didn't even know what that meant until I literally remember I wrote this final chapter. I was like, I don't know how to end this book. I don't know what it is. And I had, so part of my healing process was after my miscarriage, and after all of that got settled or whatever, I actually went into had a nervous breakdown. I just could not. I was still 18-hour student. My husband had left the country. I'm having a miscarriage. I'm dealing with this by myself. Didn't tell my parents. I told one friend in college, and I told one of my sisters, and that is it. I didn't tell anybody else because I was so embarrassed, because I was at the time in a very, very religious part of my life where I was going to church 5 times a week. And so I didn't feel like I could tell them. Literally. I didn't feel like I could tell them, obviously, because they were going to judge me or whatever. Even though I was married, I was by myself. I didn't feel like there was anyone I could trust with this information. But then I had it was the craziest day. I remember I had been put on antidepressants my second year in college. Because I just think it was that shift, that change, I hadn't settled, and then I had, gotten raped that winter break, and, just a lot going on. And so I had a doctor prescribe me that, but I felt like I was having adverse reactions. I went to 4 different just walk-in clinics, and one day all of them told me to go to the ER because I was having that many symptoms.
Wow.
So went to the ER, and then they were like, we need to run tests, and I was like, no, you can't. So another thing about me, I have a huge phobia of needles. I will pass out, throw up, and have a seizure.
Shit.
Any shots, getting blood drawn, any of that. They never believe me.
Oh man, I used to laugh and joke when I donate blood. I'd be like this, trying to fill it up as fast as possible. I'm like, all right, I got competition.
What's the record here?
I know what's the record.
Ever since I was 7 years old, that's been a thing for
Wow.
a really long time. So
That's crazy.
the scar on my lip right here
Uh-huh.
is from me falling, having a seizure. I fell face first, busted my lip on a metal bar,
Mm-hmm.
and they super glued it back together.
Wow. When did you first realize you had seizures and stuff? When did that
7
first
years
happen?
old.
7?
Yeah.
What do you remember? What triggered it or what happened?
I got
or?
3 shots at once.
Oh, so literally the shot thing was the.
Yeah.
Have you ever been tested, diagnosed for any type of epilepsy?
Yeah. So
Do you know
whenever
what type it is? Or?
they told me that I have the maybe possibility of being epileptic. That's all I got.
Oh, there's petit mal and then there's grand mal. So
Yeah, they were like,
they're 2 different. Yeah.
They were like, maybe. They were like, it's possible.
Yeah, what kind of fucking doctors
And I
have
was
you been
like,
seeing?
okay, great. That's fine. I was like,
Wow.
cool.
So I have a quick question right quick.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought, and this might be a bad question or whatever, have you ever thought adapting your book into a screenplay?
Yes, actually.
Ooh. It sounds very much like your 4 Strangers
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
I know where you're going with this fucker.
Requiem for a Dream is pretty rough.
Well,
too.
hey,
That's
yeah.
We'll talk after this.
Okay.
So
No, let's do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Well,
What are we
let
talking-
me finish.
Yeah, let her finish. Let her finish.
I'll let her finish.
It's a good segue.
All right, go
So-
ahead.
Yeah, it is.
Couple more details. So I ended up that day, I ended up going to the ER, and then I was like, you can't run tests. I don't have anyone to drive me home, and I like will pass out, have a seizure, da 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 da. And
they're probably looking at you like, yeah, whatever. That's what
they're-
everybody says.
Right. So
Yeah.
then they're like, cool. So here's your social worker, and I was like, okay, sure.
Oh shit.
What's going on? And then they were
Oh.
like, we think we need to take you to the triage center based on everything that you're telling us. And I'm like, cool, whatever that is, I guess I'm going. And I've got like 2 of my uncles that I'm talking to and my sister. And at the time I wasn't really talking to my parents. We were kind of in like, I took basically a year of like not talking to them almost.
Right.
Especially, except whenever I like needed to.
Mhm.
It was like healthy distancing, loving them from afar type thing.
Trust me, I
Devin
know that
knows about
all.
this.
Damn it, Devin. Fuck you, Devin. Fuck you, Devin.
Yeah, I'm gonna
But,
love you from here in this studio.
All right, so-
But so they were like, yeah, you need to go. Like, we think, this would be really good for you, da da da. So I get there to the triage center. They do like an interview with me, and they're like, so your hallucinations. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I was like, where the fuck did y'all get that shit? But apparently, I would see like shadow figures, which is a part of like, I have like really severe PTSD because I was in 3 abusive relationships, raped by 7 different men, and like my exes like stalked me and shit. So like I have severe PTSD,
I hate hearing
or
these stories.
had.
Like,
I don't really, I feel like I've healed from majority of that. I don't really have any of these issues anymore, but so started doing that, and they were like, so here are your 2 options. You can either go into a hospital unit for like a week or, whatever. Or they're like, or we have this thing called Crew, and this is in Denton. It's
I've heard of Crew.
Crew in Denton, and basically it's a house, and they have up to 12 clients is what they call us.
Yep.
And it's basically like round the clock fucking therapy for 2 weeks straight. And round the clock, morning, evening, night, they do check-ins with you. You have to eat. You have to shower at least once a day. They make sure, da da da. And they put me on so many medications that I went into psychosis after being on them for like a year. Like,
Jesus.
I called. So one of the reasons that I left Austin, actually, number one, I did have a crazy roommate, and that is one of the reasons that I left. But the day that I called my mom, I had a 30-minute long hallucination in the shower that somebody was trying to attack me. Like,
So
actually,
you had severe PTSD, like,
And it
yeah.
doesn't-
Yeah.
And
it
your
was the
crazy
medication.
roommate, the
Oh, okay.
crazy roommate wouldn't help that at all. Be
And
like,
then
oh, I
be-
fucking see him. Let's jump that
And
bitch.
then being in Austin made it worse.
Yes, honestly.
So describe this like crazy roommate. Like what was crazy? Like what made them
Austin
crazy?
sucks.
Austin
So I had
sucks.
actually
We've
met
all had
her.
crazy roommates, and I just want to hear about yours.
So I actually had met her.
Yeah.
in,
Did she help you beat the hallucinations ass?
No.
That'd be crazy.
Oh, I see her too.
Hey, I wasn't.
Like,
I wasn't that fucking crazy, Devin. You know it.
I know.
Sorry.
fuck
I
with
left
you.
you.
kidding.
I left you. I left you alone. Half
But
the fucking
there's
time.
no way that could help the situation that you're
No. You were a
having
good
a
roommate.
crazy
Well, so
roommate. Like,
part of the
fuck.
problem was I
Kinda.
went through that, and they had given me a bunch of medications to help with whatever they thought was going on with me, PTSD, like how I was coping, just not doing well, da da da, whatever. And then after I got out is whenever I moved to Austin, because I moved in with my uncles, because they were like, we'll help you get back on your feet, like, and just figure out where you're going from here. And I was like, cool, just take a year off in Austin, it'll be great. Ended up, so I moved to Austin, and I find a psychiatrist, and I still have like my therapist that I'm doing phone therapy with and stuff. COVID hits, I'm seeing my psychiatrist, he's seeing me for free, and he, great reviews, all of that. He changes my medication every 2 weeks. So that's why I went into an actual psychosis state.
Did he say why? Like what?
He would
Rhyme
ask
or
me every
reason?
2 weeks, he'd be like, oh, how are you feeling? And I'd be like, oh, I'm feeling this way. And he'd be like, okay, we're going to change it.
God,
When
that's
really-
gonna
So-
fuck with your chemical balance. and
Right.
everything.
It
yeah.
fucked me the fuck up.
Yeah, that's
But
gonna.
my roommate, the reason that I say she was a crazy roommate is because I literally came home one day and she was yelling and screaming at me. She had a bad situation happen before I left out of town. I bought her groceries, brought them upstairs for her, and like put them away. I was like, here you go, babe, I got you. And I get back and I'm gone for like 2 days, and I come back and open the door and I can't get it open because she's got like her bed frame in the way and she didn't move it. And I'm like, hey, like come down here, can you whatever? And she comes fucking ablazing, just stop fucking yelling at me, stop screaming at me, you're such a bitch, you're a cunt, you're a fucking monster, I want nothing to do with you, like,
Wow.
and I was like,
Yeah.
so what happened whenever I was gone? And she was like, we're just roommates now, we're not friends, fuck you, I never want to talk to you again, like, and she didn't, and it was just absolutely, it was
That's gotta be awkward as fuck.
So
it was so fucking awkward because the girl, like, just kind of a gross human being in general. Like, she didn't clean. She didn't ever take care of anything. Like, everything in that apartment was mine. Everything. Except for the things in her room and her bathroom, everything was mine.
So you said that you were doing virtual therapy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my girlfriend Lindsay was doing the same thing. And when I think of a therapist, I think of somebody that's not only prescribing medication, but giving you advice around mindset.
So a therapist can't prescribe medication, only a psychiatrist can.
Well, yeah, so it was a psychiatrist. But so the thing is, though, the thing is, even with a psychiatrist, I think there needs to be a certain degree of therapy with them as well.
Yes.
And so it sounds very similar to your situation, especially when this virtual shit happened.
Yeah,
they took
the virtual
they
shit.
took major advantage of people because literally it's $150 for 30 minutes or an hour.
Well, so I was doing mine through the state, so everything I was doing was free.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So
but yes, typically. So my psychiatrist technically was like
so the state got
$300
billed like
a session.
$700 an hour.
So it's the same. So the same thing. So she would get on a session and the person would ask her a list of fucking questions, and then you know, are you feeling like this? You do this, and that. It's just a checklist. And then if it like none of them, I'm feeling like this. There's no, well, okay, what's the root? What's causing this? Or what are you thinking
Which is
about?
What a therapist is supposed to be for.
Yeah. Instead, they give like they switched medications on you. They just kept upping her dosage.
Yeah, so he would do that too. He would up it, take it down, change it, switch it, da-da-da. Like, I literally was on antipsychotic medication that I didn't need to be on because I had been told that I was this. I had been told that I was that. And I fully believed it because of how I was feeling. And I was like, these guys are the professionals. I should listen to them. Literally, whenever I moved from, and this is really sad. I don't think this is in my book, but whenever I moved back in with my parents, I was argumentative, I was angry, I was sad, I was upset, I was just all over the place. I got into a huge argument with my mom, and I actually pulled a knife on my mother.
Oh shit!
And that was
shit, man.
That was like
Crazy.
the final point. That was the breaking point. I was like, you don't understand me. Like it was like I didn't have control of my own body at that point, because at that point I really was in a state of psychosis.
So let me ask you, like in Austin and even like when you went to your parents' house, did you have any type of outlet? Like, did you have any, like, I know you talked boxing. I know you talked about Krav Maga.
No, I didn't at the time.
Okay, so and that's what that actually makes it even 10 times worse, is the fact you have no way to get that out.
It was all during COVID too.
Yeah, and then that makes it even more. And I mean, that's
you're isolated.
Yeah,
Right.
look at all the statistics now with like everything going on with people, depression and everything else. It's
Suicide,
through the
depression,
fucking
and
roof.
abuse went through the roof.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and I know people roll their eyes when they hear this, but one of the most underprescribed antidepressants is exercise.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period.
Literally.
No, and that's the main reason why I asked, because I was like, was that your outlet, the boxing and the and that sort of stuff at that time, or was that before,
my
or was
parents
that
actually
after?
put me in boxing whenever I was in like middle school. They put me in boxing because I would break things. I was just like angry.
So
child.
that was
I was a wild
my
child.
outlet, like when I was younger, was boxing and stuff. Because weightlifting and shit didn't really do anything.
And yet he
it-
still
Yeah.
stayed angry.
No, and
But-
actually, that's as I got older. Obviously, the outlet now is obviously the podcast, because
Right.
the podcast allows, instead of harboring and keeping all that shit inside,
He
now
can say the F word.
yes, I can
Really?
say the F word. In other words, and not get yelled at by mom.
There you go. But,
why are you saying those cuss words? You
I mean,
fuckface?
your mom uses the F word like crazy.
Damn it.
anyways.
Damn it, Devin! Why the fuck are you saying those cuss words?
Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it.
I learned
Damn
it by
it.
watching you, mom.
Literally.
Exactly.
But that day, so my family friends, I call her my Madonna. It's like one of my mom's good friends. I've known her since I was born. and her daughter were at the house. So that happened. Obviously, that hurt us upstairs. My mom went downstairs, and I was physically hitting my mother. It was a very bad ordeal. And as crazy as my mom is, and she's a fucking wonderful woman, because she did not allow that to hinder our relationship. She actually we discussed it, and now we laugh about it. But that day, my dad was like, look, trust me, if you will, please. He was like, look, these medications, he was like, I promise you, just get off everything. He's like, because whenever I take medications, he was telling me, he's like, it does the opposite of what it's supposed to do, or makes it 10 times worse. He's like, you need to get off of these and find your own way of coping and healing. And for me, that was throwing myself into modeling, into my business. And literally the craziest thing.
And writing
literally,
a book.
And I finished the book.
Well, turn your
That's what I'm saying.
all those bad experiences and those challenges and stuff, turn it into a triumph. You know what I
Right.
mean? Turn it.
Exactly.
And
Well,
help-
the
and
crazy
help
thing
others.
is,
So-
once I got off of all my medication, every symptom that I was having, all the bad things, all the weird
Mhm.
things, everything subsided. Everything stopped.
What were you gonna say,
within a
Andy?
week.
Well, they've heard me say this before, but in life, situations happen, and a lot of those situations are negative, and you can't control those situations from showing up in life. But
Yep.
what is the one thing you can control when showing up in those situations?
How you react to those.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And how you end up either growing or letting that stop you in your tracks.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's kind of the closing of my book, and a lot of what I speak on now, and why I love doing podcasts and sharing my story, because I do have such an intense story for someone so young, and all of the things that I've been through, and having gotten to where I am now is a fucking miracle. So
Yeah.
I just want to be a light in other people's life, to say, look, just trust your own instincts and do whatever's best for you. And very much to that sentiment, you cannot control anything else. But someone that is a mentor to me says to me all the time, people, places, and situations do not matter unless you make them matter.
Respect. Just like words have no power unless you give them the power.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you control your own emotions until you let
Like, fuck
someone
you,
else
Patrick.
have that control. And you let them have that control whenever you make those people, places, and situations matter.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
exactly.
true.
No, it's absolutely right. It's great. It's a great way to end the show right there. All right,
Yeah.
we're done. Lights out.
And mic
And we're done. Mic
Great.
drop.
Actually, we have 20 minutes.
Gratitude.
No, I was just saying
Yeah.
that's a great
Gratitude sometimes helps too.
Oh, gratitude is important every single day. Look,
Yeah.
I work on myself every single day. I read books. I listen to podcasts. I write down my gratitude. I write down my goals. I envision. I meditate. I take the time to be with myself. And one of the reasons I took a month off of social media was to be with myself and not have so many other distractions. It was really people thought something was wrong, that I was sick, that whatever. And I'm like, no, we need to disconnect.
Yes.
We are not meant to be scrolling on our
All right, this would be a
phones all
great
the time.
opportunity to plug
As we're on
me time.
No.
Really.
Hey, where's that mug? There's a great opportunity to
What
plug
mug?
Arkansas right there, the cabins.
Oh yeah.
So no, that was one
Lone
of the
Cedar.
Lone Cedar cabins.
Yeah, Lone Cedar cabins.
when you want to unplug.
So
Yeah.
no bullshit. We shot a movie there, Hollow Road, and honestly, having no cell signal, having no.
Fucking amazing.
It was
Amazing.
so.
you ought to go out. You ought to go out there.
You really should,
Because-
especially if you like to meditate. You like to just
Yeah,
unplug.
I know.
Yeah.
I know the owners. I know the owners out there, and they are great.
They're
Okay.
They,
awesome. yeah.
they really are.
I
Dawn
just
and
did
Gabe.
a week-long trip in the Sierra Mountains, and it
Yeah,
was
peaceful as fuck.
amazing.
Nice.
So-
because
Did you go backpacking or would you do tent? What?
No, it
what
was
happened?
actually a model trip. Me and another model went. Two
Mhm.
photographers hired us for the week, and
Oh, so you did a shootout there and stuff?
yeah,
like-
we did a bunch
Oh,
of
that's
nude
awesome.
nature artwork stuff. Absolutely beautiful work. Just amazing with the structures that we got to see, and then posing with them, and just kind of nature and nature putting it together. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful
Yep.
thing.
I look more like Bert Kreischer out in nature.
Oh.
Let's be honest.
Have you seen the machine yet?
No, I have
Oh
not.
my god, I watched it the other day. It was actually really good. I was surprised. I thought it was like, okay, it's gonna be lame
So-
as fuck. It was actually pretty good.
I'm
no bullshit.
I'm definitely. What is it on?
I don't know. I have it on my
All right, I'm gonna have to
downstairs.
check it out.
We can
then.
watch it this weekend.
So you said you meditate, yes?
Yeah.
So have you ever tried a sensory deprivation chamber? Have you ever tried floating?
No, I want to though. I want to try one of those really bad,
So-
but I haven't.
I'm really big into it. I haven't been lately because life is life.
Right.
But
Life be
I used to be. I used to
and
go
you just
pretty
bought a
reg-
house too, so that's
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause- so the way that
Yeah.
and for me it literally started at it was like an addiction, like a drug addiction, because I started out 2 sessions. I did 2 sessions like within 3 or 4 weeks, and it was like 30 minutes, and then like because I meditate already, I'm able to at least. I'm not great at it, but I at least know how to get out of my head, and that's the biggest thing. is
There's
getting
no
out of
such
head.
thing as being good at meditating.
Yeah, you ain't lying. So, but it was easier for
Unless you're a monk.
Man,
That's
them
a
monks.
fair statement. The first 2 times I went, it took a little bit to get out of my head, but then I did, and by the second time I was like, this is too short. And then probably within the second month, I had to. It's like my 5th or 6th session. I had to go to 2 hours because it was too short, and I ended up falling asleep. But when you get out. Like, especially if you have kids. I highly recommend this if you're a fucking parent, because you haven't heard quiet like this since the fuckers were born. But
What is
Hey,
quiet?
I hear quiet now.
but
You know what? Hold
I
on.
would I,
Pause for 1 second. So, the CEO of the company that I work for came into my office the other day, and we were talking whatever, blah blah blah, and I had like TV playing, like, but it was just background, like we were talking about earlier, background sound, music, whatever, blah
Right.
blah. And he goes, "You know why that is?" And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Because you're too afraid to get lost in your own thoughts."
That's a big thing.
And I was like going, "Ooh,
Yeah.
ding, ding, ding." I go,
Yeah,
"That's why I
yeah,
gotta have
yeah,
music
yeah,
in the
yeah,
car."
yeah.
I go, "Because that's the reason
Yeah,
why I can't
yeah.
sleep at night, because I get lost." in
For
my-
once,
Dude,
I have to
once
agree
you,
with
like,
fucking Devin.
Really? So I build my own little world in my head. Like, I fully believe in like creating the life that you're in and creating whatever the fuck you want. So
you would love
I-
floating. Then you would absolutely
I
fucking
literally-
love floating.
so-
It's insane.
The inside of my mind, my happy place is I have this pink and purple ball, right? And
Mhm.
that is like the light in my little world. It's the pink and purple ball. And I'm like on the edge of a cliff, but it's like a big piece. And there's like this beautiful green wall. And then it's just like rolling hills of like tropical greenery. And I've got like a little beachside front house. And that's where I go in my head. And that's like my happy place. And that's where I stay. And that's where I go and deal with all of
You
my
listen
own
to
emotions.
that, Patrick?
Yep.
Remember what I told you when you're having all the anxiety and everything else? I go to that happy place.
Dude,
Just
and-
find it.
The
go
float is such a good reset.
Yeah,
Like
I need to try it.
like when I started getting like into the hour and a half, I would get out of the thing, and the thing is it's timed, and they want you out, and you have to get dressed and everything. You're like all you want to do is sit there because your mind is, and then you walk out, and the light hits you, and you're like, I don't want to look at another fucking computer screen. I don't want to look
Literally.
at technology. I don't even want to fucking drive home right
to it.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, because it's literally like when you at one point you don't know whether your eyes are open or closed, and
Mhm.
unless you end up touching the sides, you don't know where your body
So
stops.
I listen to a lot of podcasts about meditation and like just, quantum physics and shit like that.
You're gonna have to give
Astral
me
projection.
Not necessarily astral
Okay.
projection,
I
but
just-
just
I
like
just-
energy is energy and you can control and manipulate it and like all that type of stuff.
Okay.
And so one of the things that they talk about is whenever you're meditating, if you get to a really deep meditation, I can't remember what it's called, but you get into like a certain state and it feels like you are high. It's like the high of a meditation, basically. And it's like where, I don't know, everything I guess is in sync. I don't know how exactly to explain it, but
The things I see when I'm in there, especially if I open my eyes, because it's like your eyes are shut. I mean,
all the
Stop
possibilities.
it's crazy. It's and like you see a beach and everything, but I see these crazy, and I'm not on LSD or tripping or anything like that, but I see crazy,
You should try that.
crazy colors, crazy patterns.
Well, yeah.
Like, oh,
it's that's all just energy though.
and it just once you inhale all that energy and it's over with, you're just like, oh, I gotta go back outside. Like I gotta face that fucking real world again.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
I fall
Yeah.
asleep in it now.
Mhm.
They gave me this little pool noodle pool noodle to put on your neck so you can
A poodle?
And next thing you know, like, and you know how fast sleep goes by, right?
Yeah.
Your bed's like a time machine. You close your eyes, it's like 8 hours later. But no, like you go in there and 2 hours is over
Good
like that,
God.
and you're like, fuck.
But literally, like whenever, so I just moved into a new apartment and I have this beautiful patio, nice like morning sun coming in. It's amazing. But what I've been wanting is to like build my own little oasis in on my patio,
The
and
water.
I have a meditation pillow. And so I've been sitting out there, and literally the first day that I went out, I was literally exactly like that. I was sitting out there, legs crossed, my palms open, like
You're not doing it in
2
this heat, are you?
hours.
You're not doing it in this
I
heat.
absolutely am. I love the heat.
I can't even meditate.
I-
This shit
I'm a
is deadly.
fan of the sauna weather. It's my
I like
favorite.
saunas. I do.
I am too when I'm on a boat and there's water.
But this is some different shit.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It feels so good. It's like a big hug.
A sweaty,
Yeah, from
swampy,
the oven,
Yeah.
from the gates of hell.
from the gates of
The
humidity.
gates of hell are just welcoming you as
Yes,
you walk outside.
A very swampy, humid, moist hug.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh God.
You said moist.
He doesn't like
But-
No, I'm fine with it. I mean, it's
yes,
everybody
right,
else.
It's,
Yeah.
the, it's
everybody
the female
else.
listeners that
Yeah, it's the
they
female
cringe
listeners
whenever we say moist.
They don't like
Yeah.
it. They don't like it
I
when they're
used to
brown.
don't
always
like
say
moist.
that word.
They
That
don't
used
like
to be like
moist.
my word. Is
Was it really?
moist. I used to
Moist?
always say that it was moist outside.
Very nice.
It was a thing.
And
That's
girls
cool.
be like, "Why
That's
can't
cool.
you just say wet?" I was like, "Really? Because wet does not sound better than moist.
It's just hey, you
Wet gives me a whole different
know- all right. You know what?
rain. Sorry,
Rain. Weather. Rain
Don't be a
clouds.
perv.
Rain clouds. Stop that. So you know what I just gave you?
Yeah.
She's like, slow down. I don't want to have to be up all night playing Guess Who.
With who? You? Me?
You remember? No, me.
Oh,
Remember I
okay.
told you about
What?
about that brownie I had? Felt like I had a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
We
That
had to
sounds
stay up till
dangerous.
like 3 a.m.
Holy
Because I
Christ,
was-
chicks.
Yeah, I know. Edibles are like if you eat too much,
No, we should do the
even
cussing.
when you do it regularly, can cause a panic
We
attack.
should do the
Oh,
cussing
yeah, for
thing
sure.
again.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So,
We should do the cussing thing again.
God.
so
We need to come up with
to
a whole.
bring you up to speed. If you haven't tell, I got a foul fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, and
He's
does
the
she.
worst.
and we try to come up with different things and whatnot and
I'm
creative.
diversity inclusive.
I like that. That's funny. But Patrick decides to be like, all right. He goes, let's play the don't cuss game, and every time we take a cuss, we
Oh, I saw that on one of those episodes. I was
we threw
comical.
we threw out different ideas, right? And so I finally said, okay, the first shot we shoot lemon juice, the second shot we shoot liquor, and then the third shot we kept him if he made it to it the same hot sauce. But ours, if we kept getting to the third, you'd have to up the level of the third hot sauce. I ended up like 22 in.
No, 27.
what's wrong with you?
Okay, I ended up
You
at,
have no self control. Obviously.
remember.
and
no
I-
matter what, the
she was like-
consequences are.
And I
she
re-listened.
was like telling me before I left. I was like, no,
Hey,
I
Patrick,
got this.
I
with-
re-listened.
I'll have it.
There was way more that we
Oh,
totally
yeah,
did not
'cause-
catch.
Who?
Yeah.
From Andy?
All of us.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
I ended up-
I was.
I ended
guilty.
up taking like 22 out of all of them. Some at the end. Can
27.
I was like, can I please? No, it
Combined.
ended up being 27. I
Oh.
did 22.
Oh, okay.
Because he combined like
the last,
three shots
the last
in one.
3 or 4 shots, I was like, can I just combine them and get them out of the way?
Oh.
So needless to say, I took a Prilosec that night, so my stomach was okay.
Oh,
But
God.
later
No,
on,
you should have took 2.
later on that night,
Yeah.
there was other things that happened that wasn't
I'm
okay,
sure.
and I'm going to leave
I
it at
believe
that.
that.
We're not.
No
Hey,
details.
hey,
please.
you know
No,
what? The next
zero
time,
details,
the,
period.
the
I'm
next,
so glad I work from home the next day after the podcast.
You know-
'Cause, yeah.
I was so bad.
you
It
know what?
hurt.
The next time we do that,
Uh-huh.
next time we do that,
The next time we do that.
yeah, we should
mean,
have
if
Katie
we ever
come
do
in
that-
and try to
Have who?
have Katie come in. And
Oh, yeah?
all 4 of us.
Then next
just do
time
it.
we do, you think I'm gonna fucking fall for that shit? Oh, and they led me into so many of them, and I just
She can
opened
have
the door-
water instead of liquor.
Yeah.
They opened the door, and I just walked right through it.
Oh
And
no,
then
I
next
got
thing
the
you know-
one chip challenge downstairs.
No,
and I
not doing
have
it. not doing
I
it.
don't like to limit myself in things that I say, so I'm gonna hard pass this one.
I feel like I should agree at this point with having the results of what happened. I probably should have never agreed in the first place to play the
I'm
fucking
not
game.
gonna make that mistake. Thank you for the offer, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh,
And
well-
I thought I was going to be the one that was the worst, and evidently not.
What a coincidence. The question I'm looking at, can you share some insights on your approach to meditation, how it benefits? we already went over that.
It helps you not to be a crazy person and center yourself and work through your own emotions without calling your friends every 5 minutes.
There actually is a legit scientific study, and yes, I actually did read about this. I couldn't quote it because sure enough, it was off social media. But there is a actual for somebody who does steady meditation for a minimum of 8 weeks straight. I think it was 20 minutes a day. There is a legitimate physical change in the part of the brain that controls stress and anxiety that
There
you can
is.
track on like an MRI or
You can do the same thing with like
whatever
if
the
you-
brain scan shit is.
I ain't taking an MRI.
Whenever I was talking about like quantum
No.
realms and being able to like not just people use the word manifestation, but people like sit on their couch and think that as if they sit on their couch and manifest, then that's gonna, they're gonna be a millionaire. That's not really how that works.
Come
but-
on to Butthead.
It's the concept of the energy you put in is the energy you get out,
Yep.
right? So that means you still have to
Very
put in the
true.
work. Crazy. But
I know,
No matter
right?
what.
Right?
If you want
With
results,
that-
you got to put in the work.
Wait, what? When did this part?
Wait,
I
aren't
know.
you a millennial?
No,
Millennial?
No, she's
No.
I have
Gen Z.
no idea what
she's
I am.
like Gen Z, bro.
or
but-
like
Gen
X,
Z.
But with
or
a good
like
work
maybe
ethic.
12. I don't know.
No,
Not sure.
no, that's
No, she-
good.
no,
You
she-
teach all
she-
them damn millennials.
She's Gen Z with a good work ethic, okay? With
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
mindset. Not
Yeah.
enough Gen Zers have good mindset, dude.
Smart
They're-
person.
They're-
Use my brain.
The-
to its fullest
The
extent.
littlest thing for Gen Z and with somebody who doesn't use mindset, it just sets them off. It stops their day and offends the fuck out of them.
Yes, and then they can't do anything but go
You
in their
can't be
corner.
offended if you work in the modeling agency or in the industry. Like somebody's gonna hurt your
No.
fucking feelings.
They do be hurting feelings.
I,
but-
yeah. Body shop, we hurt each other's feelings.
Yeah.
I heard one time this painter, he talked about going he came to talk to his buddy. They're at the shop, and his grandma just died. And I shit you not, they were so close. He's like, "Oh man, did you bring her ashes?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "I was hoping I could run through her one more time. I was gonna." Like I was like, "What?"
Wow.
Excuse me?
Like no, they're
Yeah.
that bad. It's body shop talk. Like there's no,
That's
like
wild.
oh, you have no idea. It's about as bad as the military.
Yeah, you
Mili-
should hear.
That.
You should hear airline talk too.
Yeah. So,
Look.
From the flight attendants and pilots.
but yeah, you
I
can't.
have
you can't
dated
thin
someone in
skin.
the army before. I think that's enough.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
you can't have thin
And
skin.
the Marine Corps. So
Mindset. Too many of the current generation out there do have thin skin. It sucks.
yeah, they do.
So
But-
going back to your list of accolades, as a ballroom dancer, what do you enjoy most about the form of dance, and any memorable performances, experience you like to share? Because
Oh,
that's one thing
man.
we haven't talked about at all.
What led
Okay.
into it?
So I did tap jazz and ballet whenever I was little, and then I told my mom I was bored, so I stopped doing that. I didn't really like it. I experimented with a lot of different things. I played acoustic guitar, and then I was like too slow, so I played electric guitar, and then my mom made me quit because I never practiced, but I did, just not in front of her. And then
You don't wanna hear what I
took
have to play,
singing
Mom.
lessons really young, and also in high school I took singing lessons again. But I don't think someone told me one time that I can't sing, and I don't have a good voice, so I stopped singing, except in the shower.
Hey,
It sounds
That's
great.
where every good record's ever been recorded.
Facts, exactly.
Right.
Your
Best
voice.
acoustics ever.
But anyway, back to the dancing portion.
Yeah.
So.
So you also sang at one point too.
Yeah, once upon
Triple
a time.
threat.
Yeah, no more like
Well, quadruple.
One and a half.
Quad?
1.5 threat.
Okay.
okay.
She is humble, folks. She is humble.
No, I don't believe in being humble. Being humble means lowering yourself. Look at the actual definition. I do not call myself humble.
Okay, you have humility.
There you go.
I
Humility.
mean, sure, yeah.
You
Should go with that.
I'm just fucking honest.
The thing is you from what I'm hearing, you don't feel a sense of just absolute entitlement. Like I work for it, so yes, I am entitled if I work hard to it. But the thing
I'm
is
just not an asshole.
but when you work hard for something and don't expect
I love that.
that's a sense of humility.
I mean, yeah, sure.
You know what I
Whatever.
mean?
Anyway. You're going on a rant over
Oh,
here.
see.
Getting off topic. You're supposed to be talking about dancing.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
Yes,
so
what does
she-
this have to
she's
do with
sorta kinda
dancing and our
acting like
memorable
me a little bit.
experiences?
Anyway,
So,
whatever.
I like this. Thank you.
let's see. In high school, whenever I turned 18, I went to the country club for the first time. My dad taught me how to two-step, and then my brother, he's not a very good dancer, but he did two-step with me. He tried. Was like, oh, I really like this, and I was like, I think maybe I want to take ballroom dancing classes. So signed up for that, took some ballroom dancing classes, really liked it. I was thinking about competing, and then, that costs money, having a private ballroom
I was
dancing
gonna
teacher.
say what nowadays doesn't cost money.
Right.
Like
So
Really?
I
Going
stopped
Dancing with
doing
the
Yeah,
that.
Stars.
Biden's
For real.
America.
I
so
stopped
there you
paying
have
for
it.
that also because I was going to college too. And so I did the swing dance society in Denton,
Mhm.
and me and my college roommate would always go, and they had lessons. So we learned how to swing dance, and then we would dance throughout the night. And then I would go to some of the, mainly just that, I guess, really. And then whenever I moved to Austin has the most amazing dance community ever. It's so good. No one's a fucking dick. You can go up to anyone and ask them to dance. You can, the girls, the guys, it's not a big deal. And so yeah, that's my extent of my ballroom dancing. I just really like it, and it's just my hobby, and I do it for fun whenever I have time to.
I was just gonna ask you, do you do it regularly or is it?
I want to do it more regularly. In Austin, I actually had my first dance partner, but I don't have anyone to dance with here, so
Oh.
it's okay.
All right. So next question. Tie it all together.
Oh, great. Tie all of this together?
Yep. So how do you balance your modeling career, your coaching, your bodybuilding, your ballroom dancing, and every other hobby and
Kind of
interest
asked
you
that
have?
earlier.
Carefully.
All right.
carefully.
Next question. I'm just kidding.
Well, I make my own schedule, so really I can do whatever I want. But I
so
just kind of...
walk us through your schedule. Like you wake up tomorrow.
Walk it out.
It's different every day.
I don't know. How
I
do you-
tell
how do you do
myself
it?
I'm going to wake up at 5:30 in the morning, and then I wake up at 8 a.m.
All right. Yes.
And
Thank
that's
you. That's
typically how that
realist.
works.
That's realist shit. So what do you
So
do?
That's...
Like,
I
how do you
wake up at 8
adjust?
o'clock in the morning. Because
I know, but
fucking
how do you
can.
adjust? Because you're in your mind, you're like, I'm gonna get up at 5. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do it. And you're wake up at 8, and you're like, well, fuck, there goes.
I know
3
it's
hours?
3 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
I just move it to the latter half of my day or the next day. Honestly, I very much just flow with whatever my days give me. So today I was gonna do a bunch of stuff and ended up getting hyper fixated on one thing. I waited till my hair dried. I need to take my laundry out of the. I forgot about that.
No, here.
So
No,
I
but
waited
this
till
is-
my
this
hair
is
dried
great to talk
and
about.
literally this is what my day looked like. I woke up at 6:30 and I was like, weird. Why did I wake up at 6:30? And I was like, oh look, I have a big window, and I was looking out, and, you could see the end of the sunrise, and I'm like, I should get up and maybe meditate. And I was like, I'm gonna go back to sleep actually. So I get up at 9, and then I totally forget that I was supposed to
Love
be
it.
somewhere
I don't know
at 10
anyone
with a
like
friend
that.
of mine. And so I called my friend, and I was like, it was just this company. It's a gym,
Mhm.
and everything in their gym is the VR or XR or whatever. It's
Yeah.
all I don't know.
Virtual reality, yeah.
Yeah, virtual reality, and they were
Augmented reality.
they basically
probably,
just
yeah.
want me to come and take some videos to promote it for them. And I was like, cool, yeah. So,
So was this a modeling gig, or was it a
not
paid
necessarily
gig, or
more.
no?
No, it's just come use our gym for free in exchange for a reel on your Instagram. And I was
okay.
okay, I'll do that. That's
Okay.
nice because it's VR working out sounds interesting, and they're you can bring a friend or two or whatever. And
Is
I
that
was like,
local? Is that somewhere close here?
It is.
Where-
It's local. It's in Dallas. Yeah.
Oh, it's in Dallas. Okay.
It's called Thrive VR or something like that.
Yep, I know what Thrive is.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, Thrive is a supplement company, but I didn't know
it's
about the VR.
THRIVXVR, some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But it'll be on my Instagram soon if y'all want to check it out. I
Another
haven't
selfless
been yet,
promotion.
so
Oh, you haven't done the actual.
I had no.
Because you
So
missed it, right?
so I called my friend and I was like, "Hey, we're good for 10 a.m. this morning, right?" And she was like, no." And I was like, "All right, well, they said I can just reschedule, no big deal." So I rescheduled it,
Mhm.
and then so I just went to my regular gym, my trainer, and Worked. I took my time eating my breakfast and stuff, and I make my breakfast every single morning. So.
And what does your breakfast consist of?
Well, right now, since I'm on prep, it's a half a grapefruit, 8 egg whites, a bowl of oatmeal, and a protein shake.
Fuck. No flavor.
It has lots of flavor.
Wait, is this all together or a separate? Like,
I mean, they're all
okay.
What kind of
okay.
oatmeal?
steel cut, baby.
Shit. Any sugar or anything in it?
Real maple syrup and some flax seeds.
Maple syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. But still.
That's a new substitute.
I like
for sugar.
I like apple cinnamon.
No, I don't like
Yes,
apple
you
cinnamon.
do, Andy.
I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Okay.
But anywhoville, so yeah, I went to the gym and kind of just took my time or whatever, and then got in my car and it almost didn't start. So I was like, I should take it to the dealership or whatever. I go to Carlton Car Care or Carrollton Car Care. Carlton.
I'm like, Carlton, it's not
Look, y'all.
unusual.
9 o'clock. It is my bedtime.
Do you live in Carrollton?
No, it's not
Oh.
far from me though. I'm in
Okay.
Farmers Branch.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
I know. Yeah. I grew up in that area,
Yeah.
both those areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Got in a
but
lot of trouble
I
too.
like that place, and it's also it's like a local family owned, so I like to support those places.
Yeah, yeah. Then the dealership.
Wait, is that where you went to school? Farmers Branch?
Tyler?
Tyler,
Do you not pay
Texas.
attention?
Oh wait, no, that's
Are
right.
you
did.
are you
Sorry,
joining
yeah.
the same podcast?
No,
with-
See,
short-term
I remember-
memory loss. You'll have to excuse
It's
me.
okay.
I
I forgive
remember.
you.
I mean,
We
she
did.
went
We
to
did.
Tyler.
Yeah, I remember that now. Yes,
That's why
I
it pays to pay attention.
What the
Right.
hell?
But yeah, so I was like,
You're
I'm gonna do
getting
this,
old.
and then I called them, and they were like, I don't know if we can get it back to you tomorrow. And I was like, I gotta come here tonight, and I was like, fuck. So I just went home, and I was gonna run errands and do things, but instead I was like, okay, let me start my laundry. And then I took new digitals and submitted to 15 agencies outside of Texas, and then was like, LOL, it's 4 p.m. I haven't eaten lunch yet or my snacks because I've been hyper fixated on this one thing. And so then I ate lunch, and then I threw on some sweatpants, and now I'm here.
Fantastic. So where's your
Very
car?
I'm still driving it.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's out in the parking lot.
Yeah.
it's out.
It's out in that
driveway.
parking lot you got out
It's in
there
the driveway.
in front of the studio. You didn't
Yeah,
know?
it's close to your Lexus.
Yeah.
So, there's a question that did come up.
Do I need to run my scanner on your car to see what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Probably.
Right.
Okay, I can.
What is it?
A Jeep Renegade.
It's a Jeep.
Wait, it's not bright orange, is it?
It's a
No.
Chrysler. It's a Chrysler
Silver.
product.
It's a silver.
It's
Yeah.
no longer a Chrysler. It's Fiat or Star. What is it? What is that company called?
I don't
What?
know.
So
Fiat.
The one that owns
Fiat owns them. Yep. Fiat
Yeah.
owns
Yeah.
them. Yep. So I got to ask, because now that we're kind of coming to a close of the show, not right quite there yet, but this is kind of a question that a lot of, I'd probably say women out there in general
Mhm.
kind of think about sometimes. And I'd love to hear your opinion on this too as well.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the representation of diverse body types in the modeling industry? And what changes, if any, do you think you would like to see either in the future, past, present, whatever?
I love the diversity, but I also appreciate the companies that stick with the typical model type. And the reason is because it truly does look better on the runway. And I was trained traditionally. I totally believe in it. I totally understand it. And also, having gone to school for fashion design, I understand why. And that's just because of the way that the fabrics hang. It hangs better on a taller, slender body because you don't have to worry about the body. Now, I do think that they need to make clothes and sizing actually accurate, because marketing technique that they do is they will tell you that it's a size 00, right? And it's, actually too big for someone like me, and I'm 105 fucking pounds. So, and that,
I agree 110%. So I deal with a lot of international companies for clothing designs and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And they're so far across the board, all out of whack.
yeah.
I don't even know what sizes to order anymore.
No, you
So
have
I
no
just tell,
idea.
the companies,
I have to look at the measurements.
I
on
tell
anything
them to
order
send me a
online.
size of every single, outfit, whatever they have. Send it to me first. and then I'll make my order because I'm like, your
yeah.
fucking sizes are.
Yep. That's why I hate ordering jeans online.
Dude,
I need to go
it's
fucking try them
impossible.
bitches on.
Yes, it's so impossible.
So-
I agree 100%. Like there needs to be some kind of a
It just needs to be standardized across
Yes.
the board. It would make life easier.
110%.
but if you look at it like,
Hey, I'm easy to shop for.
So,
Yeah, kids.
so are you a fan of like the industry, like
I wear
somebody,
extra
somebody
large
who's
shirts
making
now.
waves and that kind of
Kids.
as far as not what you're doing, but what the other side of it, like Ashley Graham.
Mhm.
You know who she is,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So, are you a fan of that, or are you just wanting to keep it, traditional? As
I
is?
am a fan of that where it fits, right? So where it's appropriate, where it fits, I think it's great. But because I do believe that it is important to show real bodies, showcase
Yeah.
real bodies on both extreme, the plus size as well as the really teeny tiny girls, because the really teeny tiny girls like me that are petite, we can't fucking find clothes to fit us.
Yeah.
Like I can't find clothes to fit me half the time. I'm wearing I think these are like children's sweatpants from like Walmart. You know, like
Fair
this
enough.
top
I
is
get
like
ya.
children's from Target.
See, Patrick, you're not alone.
You took the words out of my fucking mouth. I was gonna let it go for the seriousness of what we were talking about. Thank you for picking it up, Devin. I appreciate that.
You're
but
welcome.
I think it's great. I think it's
Fuck both
important.
of y'all.
But I'm not gonna expect like Dior to be diverse because
Well, I get
honestly,
that,
if
but-
I were Dior, I would stick with the traditional model type just because
Just
it's
put
high
the fucking
end.
just put the measurements
High-end.
on it. Just
Right.
put the fucking measurements. It's it. What does it measure? Put it on there.
But like you said, you're a fan of the plus size. So I mean, so you would I be assuming correctly, like, hey, be comfortable in your own skin?
100%.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it goes
I-
back to what she was talking about confidence and being.
And earlier,
right.
again, do whatever the fuck you want with your body. But at the end of the day,
Don't destroy it,
like,
though.
like it's just the extent, the overdone cosmetic surgeries. Just it doesn't make me icky. It makes me fucking sad that these girls feel like they have to do that they have to look like someone complete that isn't even real,
Yeah.
not even a real person.
Mm.
That they have to do that in order to feel better about themselves. It's fucking sad. And that is society standards. And that is something I will hold true. I don't care if it hurts your feelings. If it hurts your feelings, then you need to work on yourself, period. But if you feel confident in yourself and that's still like what you want to do, and just because that's your fucking vice or whatever, you're like, I just want tits so that clothes fit me better. I know plenty of girls that get their boobs done so clothes will fit them better. It's insane.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I also know plenty of girls that get a bunch, and it's like you don't like
Botox.
Botox, fillers, and every
Fillers,
single piece
God.
of your body and face. It's
And the
like,
sad part
it's-
is, I can see that from a mile away,
You
and I'm
can.
just like, I'm so turned off by that shit.
Well,
It's
Botox,
like-
Well, it's not
Botox is
even-
because nobody wants to fucking age. Because dudes are doing that shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's not even that for me. It's just like
it's called good skincare routine. It's fucking. You
I
can do this
mean-
shit. It's called preventative maintenance instead of
Whatever.
reactive.
wash your
whatever.
fucking face.
Yes, reactive.
I wash my
maintenance.
face. I'm getting old. I really don't give a shit. Like for me, it's like, nah, I'm good.
Well,
I'll
the
wash
thing
it.
is, if you look at it, like men aren't getting cosmetic surgery so that they feel better about themselves.
No.
And I just-
it's becoming more commonplace.
It is, though, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
But I just
Those dudes on fucking Selling Sunset, those motherfuckers,
Oh, yeah.
they get Botox all the fucking time. Their face is like,
You
But
remember
it's
that
just- it's
million dollar
also-
listing or whatever? But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
it's also a big part of I'm like, y'all aren't thinking about the repercussions of injecting all these chemicals into your body.
Well, the best part is when I see their neck, and they did everything else but their neck, and their neck is like fucking turkey gobbler and fucking skin. It's wrinkling and shit, and I'm like going, dude, I can just look at your neck and tell like
you can have good
literally had
skincare
work.
all you want. But at the end of the day, I mean, then again, William Shatner's 92 and he still looks like he's in his 60s.
I mean, I think there's a
but-
beauty in like helping and preserving, taking care of the body that you were given and allowing it to age as it should.
Did you not see the video I took of William Shatner? He definitely looks his age, and he definitely acts his age. I
I don't know,
I don't
man.
know what
I've
he
seen
looks like.
I've seen fucking our president's younger than him and can't fucking keep up with him. Dude, William Shatner at least can host a fucking TV show.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
And I know a lot of it's makeup.
So-
I get it, but he's the best 92-year-old
I
I've
went.
seen.
I went to
Don't
this-
even get me started on the president.
So I went to this event in Austin, ironically. It was Web3. It was like crypto and all that sort of stuff. And William Shatner was like the premier host of one of the events. And dude, he was literally dogging on the company that hired him. And I was just like going, I'm so glad I fucking have footage of this, because literally the people that hired him, he's going, yeah, I don't believe in crypto. And like literally they're showing all the NFTs that they have of William Shatner and everything else. And he goes, yeah, I don't own any. And I'm like going,
He's just paid to be there.
yeah. And I'm just like going,
Yeah.
at least he's being real about it. But at the same time, I'm like, you're there to promote their NFTs
Yeah,
and their
he
crypto.
will.
And he's just
there.
like, yeah, I don't have any of it. He goes, I don't believe in anything that's not tangible. And I was just like going, holy fucking shit.
You know
they
why?
just paid this
Do you-
guy a
do you
shit
know
ton
why?
of money to
Do you
come
know
here.
why though?
Yeah, I know.
Because
what
he's
he-
gonna die soon. Almost
He's like, yeah, why would I invest in that shit? I'm gonna invest in that shit. I'm gonna die.
I'm already got millions of dollars invested and it's still gonna be around after I pass in like the next 6 years. Like he doesn't give a fuck. Like,
No, it was just really, really interesting.
And
And when you said that, I was just like, holy
is he
shit.
gonna ask for? Are they gonna ask for their money back? No, he got paid. He doesn't give a shit. I'm gonna die in a few years, anyways, motherfuckers.
I just I don't know. I sometimes worry that girls will get offended with me saying this and like
Mhm.
having these, because everyone gets plastic surgery nowadays. But my biggest problem with it is that a lot of these young girls that are in high school, 15-year-olds, think that they have to look like that, think that they need to look like that so that they can be successful, so that they can have clout, so that they can whatever.
Mhm.
I will say something.
It's really sad.
that
I actually dated a girl in high school that she had a breast reduction.
And a lot of
I-
girls get breast reductions for like medical
Hold on.
reasons.
Yeah,
But then,
especially
hold on,
their
it gets
back.
worse. Then a few years later, she was like,
I miss him.
she wanted implants. And I was just like going,
Another thing that fucks and is and this is on the dudes. And I'm gonna humble myself here for a minute, but this is on the dudes. Is a lot of the reasons also that women feel like they got to go is because we as dudes go and look at whatever we think is hot on either Instagram or something along that line.
I actually don't even think it has to do with men. I think women are trying to outdo
it's
and one
women
up other
competing with
women.
women. Yes.
It's women
Ding, ding,
competing
ding.
with women. It's not even
I
When a
totally
woman
agree.
buys a purse, when a
I
woman
agree.
buys fancy shoes, it's not to impress a guy.
but we're
it's to
not
impress
doing
the other-
anything to help them
No.
when we're looking at. That's
well,
what
that's
I'm
why.
saying.
So
like,
I actually love having these types of conversations with men, and I have had
Yeah.
a lot of these conversations with men. And every single guy is like, no, I'd much rather prefer my, like, I don't care about any of that. Like, I care about, like, just the person, or I'd much rather, like, prefer a natural girl or
Yeah.
whatever the case.
Same here.
And I honestly don't know a single guy that's like, yeah, I want a girl that, like, has a bunch of work done. I don't know a single guy like that.
no, I don't want
Yeah.
a bunch of work done. The problem is though, is we
Because I know I
as a
have
species,
cars, and
males
vehicles
tend
But
to
you
look
know
at
what,
that
that
Andy?
need a lot of work, and I know that that's called maintenance, and it's also called requires a lot of money.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Upkeep,
Andy,
same thing with maintenance on a woman. Anyway,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
Andy,
he's not
you need-
wrong.
you need a lot of work.
We're not helping it out. That's what I'm saying. Like,
You need a
No.
lot of
like,
work.
it
Andy.
is
Well, but
competition.
that's
You're
because-
absolutely
I am
because
definitely helping
most
it out.
guys aren't speaking out about how they actually feel about it, right? So you're right. Like, you guys are going liking it on social media, commenting,
me.
whatever. Like, those girls have a shit ton of likes and follows, and
Yeah,
you see those girls. They're the Instagram popular girls. They're the girls that have 1 million followers. Or
doesn't
the
help.
girls that da-da-da-da. That doesn't help, but that is only what likes don't equate money. Likes don't equate who you actually are in real life.
You're right.
don't
Likes equate dopamine and an addiction in your brain. Unfortunately, for
There
the
you go.
for the person who
We can
has
end the podcast now.
who has
We can
for the person who
We're
has
done.
the actual page. It's like
Right.
that's what it does. It does.
Yeah, and you know, I did some photo shoots and stuff with influencers and stuff like that, and I'm just like going, I don't understand.
It's a lifestyle.
And here's the
It's-
crazy part: like they were so like literally glued to their phone the entire time that
but
like
that's how they make their money.
I get it and I understand, but I'm like, I posted just to fuck with them, right? I posted this cop that was on a horseback in Chicago, and it was a perfect photo, lighting, everything was amazing. Shot the photo, posted it, tagged them in it, and they go, "Wait, where was this photo? You're with us." And I go, "Look up." And literally, the guy was standing in front of them, They had no idea
Yeah.
what the hell was going on
Not
around
paying
them.
attention, yeah.
That they were like, "Oh my God, that is such a great photo." I go,
But that's
"Look,
such
put your phone down and
The
look the
problem
fuck up."
with society in general is kids are stuck to iPads. You know, like everyone's addicted to their phone, stuck to their phone, and all of
What do
that.
you want? What do you want?
I mean, it's just unfortunately a part of the society that we live in, and each person has to hold themselves accountable or get lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. I like that. That's a good T-shirt.
It's not my saying. It's
You
somebody
know
else.
what?
Don't
we
get
can,
lost
we
in
can
the
go ahead
sauce.
and make a
I'm still
I know,
digging.
right?
I'm still digging Andy's nuggets of knowledge.
That's
from earlier.
that's fucking idiotic, stupid.
So's your face, but I don't
Yeah,
know. Hear me
what the
bitching.
fuck? That's what we can. That's what we can have in our store. It's what you quoted, and we'll put your name at the bottom of it.
Lost in the sauce.
Yeah, lost in
It's
the
a
sauce.
good one.
I want my clone.
And,
quote then.
and then we'll put Katie Edwards at the bottom.
I almost want to bring you in the studio because, like, it is a,
and just say
it is a
guest.
weird dichotomy between
know?
Do it.
Jackson and Michael. Like
We'll
how
talk after.
Okay.
how they're completely different as far as interacting and activities and what interests them. It's really weird.
As long as whatever physical activity is absolutely fun and entertaining, and you actually push him towards that, you actually you have to physically say, hey, okay, put it down and go swim.
Yeah.
Because he'll swim as long. I'm like, let's go swimming. He'll pick swimming all day long.
Well, and
Now that he knows how to. But the thing is, if I leave it alone,
Mhm.
then that's the problem. It's
Just
not
leave
just
it
the
alone.
kid.
Everything
It's not
be
just the
fine.
kid; it's the parent too.
Well, I'm going to tie up
All right, well, just leave it
everything
alone,
with this
everything be all
this
right.
statement, and it even goes back to what you were talking about with women and cosmetic surgery and everything else. It's all about perspective and perception.
Mhm.
So their perception, what they perceive, is beauty, right? This is their standard, their personal standard.
the industry sells it too.
Well, but that develops their perspective. But at the end of the day, it's
Fair
still
enough,
it's
yeah.
still their
That's a good
perspective.
point. I like that. It develops their okay.
I don't like it. You know
And
why?
by the way, you still didn't
I
take your
don't,
shot.
Andy. I don't like it. You know why?
Because your face is ugly. Go ahead, Devin.
Because you like it. I don't like it because
For the whole
you like
purpose.
it. You're a fucking idiot, dude. You're an idiot.
Don't challenge me, damn it.
You're
How do
stupid.
you guys ever get through a podcast?
It's very hard, very difficult.
Hey, believe it or not,
Between
we
me
did
and
cover a
him?
lot of material with you tonight.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah,
We
we
did.
did.
Congratulations.
Even with the swirling.
I feel like a lot of that was me. I was like, all right, anywho.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Back on top. Ding ding. Back on topic, guys.
I occasionally bring us back when we're interviewing. I've done it several times. I'm just
But
You're
saying.
doing
it's-
great. You're doing a great job.
It's perspective and it's perception.
100%.
So these females that have this perception of beauty, they have this perspective because it's their perspective that might be tied to environmental, social, media, whatever.
right.
And that is their ideology of like, hey, I want to be this because to me in my mindset, this is the perspective that is successful. This is a perspective that is going to create follows and create influence, and people will like me, and people will love me, and people will follow me, and people will.
I love where you're going with this, man. I really do.
Shut
But-
up, Andy. Let him finish.
Wait for the butt.
Keep going.
Okay.
Let him finish, Andy. Shut up.
No, I just want you to not to like it some more.
Oh my God. Just shut up, dude.
But
Go
I
ahead,
think
Devin.
that is going to be the biggest challenge for somebody to curtail and modify is somebody else's perspective and somebody else's perception, because at the end of the day, it's their perspective and it's their perception.
Yeah.
Well,
So
You like that, Andy?
I do. I do.
I don't like
and
it.
All right, go
Ultimately,
I
you
don't
really
like it.
can't change that. But my goal
Right.
is to. I'm a big advocate for being naturally yourself, natural beauty, and accepting and loving who you were born to be, the body that you're
Right.
in, and. Again, like I can't control anybody. Nobody's gonna listen to me, or maybe one day they will. But ultimately, my biggest thing is just like you don't fucking have to do that. You don't have to go to those extremes. You don't have to cut yourself open and inject chemicals into your body just to be accepted into society, or to love yourself, or to see yourself as beautiful, or self-confidence, or whatever. Like you don't fucking have to do that. All you have to do is get the fuck off social media and learn who you
I agree.
are.
I
But
agree.
that perception and that perspective,
I
that
agree.
all ties to social
It
media.
does.
So
Because
tying,
what builds that perspective? What
tying
builds
to that,
perception?
we are in an age
Mhm.
now where social media has become such a forefront that perception creates reality now.
100%.
It does.
Yep.
But you create your own reality by
That's-
what you're thinking. So
Mhm.
if you have full control of your mind, then you have full control of your own reality. But a lot of people don't. They are lost in the sauce.
That's great.
I like awesome sauce.
That's
Awesome
I
sauce is
like
cool.
awesome
That's
sauce
stupid,
too.
Andy. Shut up. Okay, but I do like that. So I will create a shirt and have that quote on the back of a shirt with your name on the
Absolutely.
back.
I
of
just
it.
would like to point out that the entire night I
Mhm.
did not start any of the confrontations. I would like to point that I've been very mature. this
Kudos
evening.
to you, Andy.
Good job.
No, you
won a
haven't.
trophy.
But
See,
golden
he's just gonna
sticker?
disagree with me just because I said it.
And it's funny because like
oh
people,
no, yes, for this, yes, I do deserve a golden sticker. 'Cause trust me, I would be laying into his ass right now. Believe me.
Great. It's almost my dinner
I need
time.
my star chart right up here with the gold star right fucking next to it.
Kind of like in first grade, dumbass.
Oh, you're short enough to be there.
Fuck you.
I told you, don't step in the arena. Stop it.
gloves are off.
It's okay. It's okay.
In his case, you can't hit below the belt because you're already at his face.
All right, keep it up.
I love
asshole.
when the gloves are off.
I told you I've been nice all night. Now you're trying, you're dragging
He's
me out of my...
instigating.
Shut up.
See? Let him have it.
Turn your mic off.
Don't listen to him. He's a bully. He's a short bully.
Yeah.
I'm bigger than this. I'm bigger than this.
So let me ask you, is that part of the reason why you unplugged from social media and stuff? Just the perspective and the
hate.
Yeah, the hate. Like, what was the catalyst that made you unplug?
I just really I felt like I really needed to just kind of to not, I felt like I was really stuck to my phone and scrolling all the time and looking at everyone else and analyzing everyone else instead of analyzing myself and putting the focus on myself. So I kind of needed a reset, and that was a big reason why I got off of social media for a month. I really wanted to do a second month, but as much as I love my manager who's taking care of my social media, really appreciate you, Dylan. Shout out, Midnight Snap. He's not a woman, and he does not know how to get me bookings because he's very straightforward and blunt, and he just sends them the same copy and paste over and over.
You want to give him a
which I
bigger
gave
shout
him.
out? Midnight Snap, what is his website?
Midnight Snap is his photography company name. So it's Midnight Snap on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Is that who
probably.
responded to me the first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
So the
wonderful.
woman's perspective he doesn't have, and so as far as he just copy paste, so it's
He
not
won't
original?
do the back and forth banter of hey, thanks so much for reaching out, really appreciate it. Let me know what you have in mind, but also he was telling people to either email, or the podcast is called, what is it called? I forgot.
Frustration Unlimited.
Frustration Unlimited.
The
podcast.
FU
F
podcast.
F
FU,
podcast.
yes.
I was like,
No,
It's literally right there. Frustration Unlimited
Frustration
podcast.
Unlimited.
And
Yeah.
no, just so you know, it's not FU, it's F Patrick. So
Oh, okay.
No, it's not. It's FU.
gloves are off.
But yeah, I mean,
Totally.
it really was just
Next
unplug,
website.
make
Started it.
myself force myself to read the books that I have, finish books that I haven't finished, do some writing, and just not be so on my freaking phone all the time and scrolling, only being on there for what I need to be on there. But part of the problem was he would tell people to email and text me, and half the people would not for some reason. They just wanted to talk on social media. So I was like, all right, Dylan, I got to fire you because I do my job better than you do.
Right.
But he was a man.
So I've heard of people giving up social media for Lent, and you talked about being religious. Did that have anything to do
No.
with it at the time? Okay, I just wondered. That's all.
No, I did do that once whenever I was being super religious. Yeah, I took a month off social media for Lent one time. Didn't even know what Lent was, but I was like, I'm going to follow this trend.
Truth be told,
So-
even though I own a marketing company and everything else, I'm I hate social media.
Literally,
fucking
I'm gonna start
As much
just
of it
walking
is a
into
bane,
businesses.
we're all like,
it is, and what sucks is like, so the company that I work for, my full time job, like our social media, like it increased 3,200%, and like my company does still to this, like they still don't even know how big. Because I mean, we're literally like, we have a target on our back because literally we have some of the biggest clients in the entire world.
Yeah.
So we have Walmart, we have Target, we have Home Depot, we have Amazon, we have like all the big, huge
they make
companies.
wheels.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, this man makes wheels look really fucking cool. Like I can't argue with it, man. I've seen some.
Oh,
of his
wait
stuff.
till you see the next round
They're
of
casters,
marketing.
like
Yeah.
the cartwheel. But the thing is he makes it look really fucking like I want to go buy some fucking cart like wheels that go on carts because of some of his shit.
Well, that's cool.
Now I'm not in the industry, so I probably wouldn't
Yeah.
fucking do it.
But it
Wouldn't make
just,
any
it was
sense.
like, I literally, like, I had an email come through today, and I was like, hey, I'll get to, because we're about to launch a medical line, because it's the one industry we haven't gotten into. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
stretchers.
Well, okay, so let me.
You choose our wheels to carry the dead.
All right,
Sorry,
so
my bad.
we're not getting into human load bearing wheels.
Human load bearing.
I just gave you an idea.
No, actually, I have a patent that I'm working on right now. that
All I
can't
want
talk about, yeah.
I want is a text message for when that idea goes through fruition. Because we'll mark this podcast. Thank you.
But yeah, so we're launching a medical line, and before I told her, I was like, I can't even like they had a name. We weren't happy with the name.
Mhm.
I can go ahead and say it because it's called an elixir, and I'm like, elixir makes me think of alcohol, makes me think
Yeah.
of drinks and mixing a drink.
Every-
Does
Not
not
wheels.
Elixir,
not wheels. Thank you.
No,
Thank
elixir makes me think of Harry Potter.
you. Okay, or Harry Potter, but at the end of the day, I'm like, it does not like it like. And as far as SEO and as far as marketing and stuff like that, you have to have.
Hey Patrick, my phone's not charging.
It's your fault, Patrick.
Patrick, why did you unplug her shit?
No, it's because he's got salt in his outlets.
He's trying to-
All that corrosion.
In his outlets. Or intakes in his case.
Look, his mic was muted.
Shut up.
His intakes in his case.
It's okay.
Shut up, because I thought y'all hooked that up.
Right.
Hooked the plug up on my desk.
No.
No,
Mm-mm.
Well, you
go on a
didn't,
power strip,
you didn't
dumbass.
say that it
I
was.
honestly didn't notice until my
Until it
phone
was
was like
dead.
10%, and I was like, oh, oops.
There you go. Is that good?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
a quick charger, so it should
Alright.
charge pretty quick.
It's a lightning cable.
I love those.
So, like, anyway, so we were supposed to launch this whole medical line. I said, hey, look, I still have to launch. So we have a current product line that's called Ergo Pro. So Ergo Pro is the leader in push resistance. Like, you don't have to push the cart as hard, and it like
Oh.
literally rolls. So as far as people
Walmart needs those.
with right.
Walmart will never purchase those.
Well,
They're
actually,
so
we already have Walmart. The problem with Walmart is their the store.
Cheap.
They'd
Yes.
rather save 25 cents per wheel.
Yes.
than
I
re-
mean, if I was Walmart, I'd probably doing that too.
so,
the rest of
I
it.
mean, you've been to Target, right?
yeah,
And you've been to Walmart, right? Which cart would you rather push?
Target.
You want to
There's a
hear something
reason.
fucked up? We make both wheels,
Well-
Walmart and Target.
But the cost.
Yeah, the cost.
That's different.
And Target will replace theirs way faster than Walmart
How
will.
much is the
They
cost per
replace
wheel?
the wheels
Just
on the carts
how much?
Wow.
They're supposed to.
The wheels on the carts go round and round.
until they don't anymore because I got fucking hair stuck
what's
in them.
Yes.
what's the price difference between
I agree.
Target's wheels and Walmart's wheels, just per wheel? Not.
That I don't know because I'm not on the sales.
Are we
side of
talking
things.
cents on the dollar though?
Like
I'd rather not spend that nickel. Is it that ridiculous? Do they do that?
But you got to
shit?
understand, we have 9 machines that manufacture Walmart's wheels. We're talking probably 500,000 a day.
Is that why they're so shitty or what?
No, they're shitty because the the Walmart stores, the managers don't order when they should. So actually, I'm working on 2 technologies that actually that will help with that. One is a wear sensor that like actually pings once it wears down to a certain point. for them to
they're just
I
gonna
didn't
be
even know
pinging
that.
all the
right,
time.
and it's gonna be
They-
so annoying.
they're
They're gonna fucking have to replace.
No, they're gonna
them.
call and be like, "Dude, do
I
you have a
would've-
fucking
How do you
kill
deactivate
switch?"
this? Yes,
I would
They're
have
ready
never
to
thought
buy
this
in.
in depth about the wheels
Wheels,
on
and
carts
nobody does.
industry.
Like they don't until they have
he
a fucking.
he didn't until he worked for them.
I mean,
And then I got another thing that's going into the wheels, which is a GPS tracker. So when cars get stolen
Oh my
and
God.
homeless and stuff take their
oh,
cars.
I've already
Oh,
seen
man.
in a lot of the carts where I guess I don't know if
Winston's
it's
gonna love
GPS, but
him.
it's got like the where it'll like
on a
the
return
wheels will
cart.
stop,
Stop and lock,
rolling.
yeah. But here's the problem with that: it's only one wheel. It's only one wheel that locks.
That's why they're still across the highway.
Yep.
Got it.
So if you
Got it.
trust me, I've already troubleshooted every
Just
single
one.
problem with
Okay.
Like, you
the
ever
fucking
seen
internet.
3-wheel motion on an Impala? You can do it on a cart.
That's
So a lot of companies actually buy our wheels and then they enhance them, do whatever. The company you're referring to that does the lock on the wheel, I forget the name of the
Kroger?
company.
Why can't they just be
no, it's
happy?
actually the.
oh the
Why
the
do they have
company
to
that-
do all these artificial enhancements? Why can't they just be happy with?
You want to hear something?
Hey, is that for another podcast?
Ugh.
You want to know what's funny? So like, I was actually joking with my boss one day. We went on
Have a tissue.
a golf.
Tissue.
Outing?
Sponge.
He did. Oh yes, I was gonna say it was around here at one time.
Appreciate it.
It's actually hot in here for once.
Yeah, it is.
I laughed too hard. Sorry. You know when that happens and it like you kind of snort a little bit. and
Hey,
you're
this
like,
show
Oh,
is this show is real. Okay, that's all, guys. This show is
Yeah.
real.
Look,
We
I'm
deal
a
with
real
real life.
woman
Yeah,
with
we
real nostrils.
we deal with real life situations here. Okay.
But to Andy's point, like that's one of the hardest
No.
things is to make wheels and casters sexy.
Whatever.
You know,
Yeah.
whatever tickles
I'm like,
your pickle.
put 20-inch rims on it.
Whatever tickles your pickle.
Put some spinners on them
Put some
motherfuckers. Some
spinners.
LEDs.
I will buy them for my kids' shit right now. Like,
Katie, that's another one. I'll put
I
on
only
the
buy
shirt.
4,
Whatever
but-
tickles your pickle.
Oh, that's a good one. I've been saying that one for a long time.
Okay, whatever tickles
Bro,
your
that's been
pickle.
around forever.
whatever.
Well, I haven't fucking heard it.
No, you know what? Whatever.
I've
Because you
Clearly
live in
now.
Anna.
Whatever tickles your pickle, floats your boat, or find your lost remote.
I say float your goat.
How many times have you been looking for that damn Amazon remote that's this fucking
I
big?
fucking cannot stand
Whatever finds your lost remote.
that fucking Amazon remote. It is the worst design of any goddamn
I
remote.
don't have an
Andre
Amazon remote.
3000. He put it in a song.
It looks like this, in case
Yeah.
you were wondering. Look, the design is fucking horrible.
one of the
Roku similar.
best raps I ever heard said, "Whatever floats your boat or finds your lost remote." And I'm like, he's fucking right, because every time the remote gets lost, I want to punch somebody in the fucking face.
That's
Just
true.
make it like my stereo downstairs where I can just use my fucking phone.
You know what you
Fuck
should?
the
No,
remote.
you know what you should
You
do?
can
Fuck
do that
the
with
remote.
Get
Hey,
Roku.
Let me use my goddamn phone.
If you glue it to a fucking 2x4, it won't get lost.
It's got to be at least
Yeah.
10 foot.
There
though.
it is, right there. That ain't going in the cushions.
Right? That's
Right.
not going to my bed crack.
God damn it! I'll glue this remote. Quit losing it, you fucking kids. Shit.
No, it is terrible fucking design.
Oh yeah, and they
It
get
slips
smaller and
in
smaller.
everything and everywhere.
Even the TV remotes are getting smaller these days. I'm like, fuck you.
I have
It's
old
very
TVs,
disrespectful. Like, yeah.
so.
This is the house of screens. Every room in this house has screens.
No,
My
this is
parents
the
always
house
like
of like electronic usage.
Yes.
Alexa.
Like if he ever tried to get off the grid, he'd be fucked. He'd be
Which
so
is
fucked.
hilarious because I'm actually working towards getting off the grid.
Even though he's
Lizzie's
got,
over there like,
even-
nope, not gonna
even
happen.
though he's got 8 Alexas throughout the house listening to everything we fucking say at all times.
The only way that he
eight
gets
is an
off the grid,
understatement.
the only way that he gets off the grid,
Yes,
the, only,
he's right. He's right. It is an understatement.
the only way that he gets off the grid is go out to the cabins.
And that's why
That's
I
the
love going out to
only
cabins.
way to
like-
get off the grid.
Devin's bathroom downstairs, like it's got him in a picture and it says something like King something or whatnot. And then when you say
King
good,
Devin.
and if you go say goodnight, his bedroom Alexa says goodnight, daddy, or some shit like like I told you, AI. I fucking told you. And here, you know what happened the other night?
Best
He's-
girlfriend you can ever have.
grabbed
Says
his-
good night to me.
Yeah, she'll
says
talk
good
back.
morning.
Okay.
Tells me the weather. Tells me the
so
news.
even though he says this, right? Even though he says this, he's like at night he's like he grabs his phone and he's like, Siri, why am I so bad with women? And Alexa pipes up, I'm Alexa, asshole. This is Alexa, asshole.
This is so dumb. Yeah. Okay.
About as dumb as your face and that fucking cotton candy you're eating.
Well, it's okay.
Put it in your
What
mouth.
is this eating hour? Like, are we gonna all like?
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
She ate.
I know, like
I
we
mean,
all eat now.
Put
Like,
it-
come on, let's.
Put it in your mouth.
I said it was
Put the
my
next-
dinner time.
Yeah. Oh, let it melt.
What you got for
Let
dinner?
it melt. Don't chew it. Let it melt.
Is that Medrix? What do you got?
4 ounces of tilapia, 4 ounces of mustard greens, 3 ounces of blueberries.
Mustard
In
greens.
what? Where?
Mustard greens can
In
taste
that bar
good.
you just had?
No, at home.
Oh,
This is a kind bar.
I was talking about what you were just eating. I was like,
This is a
damn.
kind bar.
I'm like,
ladies
you
and gentlemen.
squeezed all that shit in that bar. I'm like,
And by the way, no lie.
you got mad fucking skills.
These are legitimately healthy and tasty as fuck.
I heard.
These are a great
The
fucking
nut
snack.
ones, the actual ones.
You got to get the. So she's saying you got to get the ones with the nuts, ladies and gentlemen. The one
Yes.
with the nuts. Whether you like nuts or not, you need to get nuts. Now, if you're allergic, I wouldn't recommend it.
Obviously.
Well, thank you, genius.
What a dumbass.
Oh, I'm the dumbass.
All right. Well,
He's got to go home and talk to Jesus.
what?
We talked about your age earlier. I'm just saying. AD
Okay, whatever.
or BC? You probably use BC powder. That's how old you are.
I use BC powder. The fuck?
See?
I'm
Good
surprised.
Hey,
You, I'm
hey,
surprised you
thank
fucking
you.
know about that.
Thank
Holy
you.
shit!
Thank you.
And no,
BC
I don't.
powder is good.
Yeah, it works. Yeah.
It makes the water taste funny.
Well, whatever.
Why are you putting it in your water? You put it straight in your mouth. You take a little shot of Coke and you're good to go.
Yep.
He takes
Just
it,
like that.
he takes it straight in his mouth too, all the fucking time.
That's how look, my mama taught me to do it that way. She said it works better if you snort it. But
His
don't
mom-
do that.
I'm not gonna.
I've actually heard that before too.
Damn
I'm
it!
like,
This
oh.
is a bad mama joke. I can't say anything because him
No.
and my mom is not here. Damn it! Fuck! I want to say something so bad.
All right.
Oh!
All right. Well, if you want to say something so bad, shut the fuck up. All right.
So speaking of snacks, can you share any snacks that you would recommend or enjoy during your fitness journey?
Are we still going? Are we really
We're still going?
Fuck
I
it.
thought we were ending.
I mean, we are,
even-
but I was just.
Even she's like, we're still going, and then Lindsay's like, yes, they used to go to fucking midnight.
I will leave if we go to the midnight.
we won't.
So
No, we won't.
I mean, each person's body is different. I'm not a nutritionist or anything.
But that's why I'm asking what you.
What I
se-
personally,
yes.
so I personally do whatever
Drugs.
my trainer tells me to do.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And what
Not
does your
anymore.
Sorry.
trainer tell
Well,
you?
it's different each time.
Hopefully, it's not drugs, Andy.
No,
I apologize for that, folks. I'm going straight to hell. My
Hey, you
fault.
can smack him. You're right next to him. Yes.
it's a nice backhand.
Hey,
Woo.
she that one over there punches me. So
I
I'm
know.
just saying.
I seen it.
I give my arm up as sacrifice because it's cool.
But
And then
so-
she kidney punches me, and I'm pissing blood for a week. Sorry, I digress. Just kidding. It's a joke.
Oh Jesus.
I don't mean to.
Hey,
It's not
see-
domestic abuse. Please, let's not
Link
joke.
Dow's, please do not show up at
Look.
my door.
It's a joke, ladies and
Your
gentlemen.
kinks are yours, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, no. You know what? Never mind.
Thank you for
All
addressing
right,
that.
now let's get on to those fucking snackies.
The snackies.
All right.
Wow. We should have her more often.
I know. I like it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, we should
Y'all
have
are
her
like
more
phrases.
often.
Y'all are taking notes.
I do. I like it. I
Things
dig
that
it.
Katie says. Okay.
no, he's
so,
just happy because you shut me up. That's all.
Oh.
That's true.
Well,
No,
It's a special
actually,
skill.
it. No,
I do
actually,
it to
it's,
my mom all the time.
No, I
It's
do
cor-
shut up when there are guests on. I do, honestly. And then he brings me into the fucking
You're
fold.
doing wonderful. I appreciate it.
Just did.
what?
Thing's crooked.
Really?
Okay, so my snacks right now. My
Uh-huh.
first snack
Cotton
is
candy.
a protein shake, 2 ounces of blueberries, and then my next after lunch, my snack is a kind bar, and then after dinner, if I'm still hungry, I do 2 rice cakes with peanut butter, and they're the cinnamon rice cakes. No,
No cotton
I'm
candy.
literally 11 days out from my show.
Okay, no
11
cotton candy.
days.
I shut myself off. and
I
you
know.
still tell
I shut you off before you.
me- So you said after lunch you eat what?
My
Kind?
kind bar.
So do you want to go out and like do good things in the community once you eat?
You know, sometimes.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
Just smack him again.
Smack him. Just hit him. He ain't gonna do
Do you
nothing.
feel generous after eating a kind?
I really do. I really do.
Fuck yes. That's what I'm talking
Because
about.
I'm not hangry anymore.
Oh, so she's kind. See, that's why they call it. Oh, damn.
Look at that.
Just kidding.
So do you fast at all? Do you?
No.
No? So how does like because you have a very ambitious schedule.
Yeah, I eat as soon as I wake up because I'm starving whenever I wake up, even if I'm not.
What time what's the latest you eat, or what do you eat late at night, or what's your last meal? That sounded really bad. What is the meal before you go to bed?
Steak,
So
lobster. like,
Yeah, if I'm gonna die, I need a T-bone.
am I on fucking death row right now? Like, what? Are y'all gonna kill me?
All right,
So,
No,
so you're fine.
you know, that's actually an electric
Really,
chair.
y'all? Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
So, well,
Why it's
because
got
my
metal
dinner,
wheels.
right? So my dinner is the
Casters.
tilapia, mustard greens, and blueberries. And then if I am still hungry or just like having like cravings for something sweet because I'm on such a strict diet, then that's whenever I do the rice cake with peanut butter, and that's the last thing I eat.
What kind of peanut butter? All natural? Or
All natural, crunchy, baby.
Okay,
yes, crunchy.
So I go to Winco and I do the machine that grinds up the peanut butter.
That sounds gross. Very unsanitary.
It's peanuts in
You're
the
gross,
peanut butter. Like legitimately,
gross,
it takes the
Andy.
peanuts and grinds it into peanut butter.
But it's like in a public grocery store. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of.
How
things in
often
the-
do they clean?
Do you know
that
how many
shit?
But like
hand-
how often do they clean that? You got little kids putting their fingers and shit up there probably.
I've put worse thing in my mouth as a kid. I promise you.
Okay, well
like-
you do you,
And he
boo-boo.
probably
I
still
promise- I
does.
promise
Day.
You do you.
So
I will not be purchasing that peanut butter.
so. Damn it! Now I fucking lost my train of goddamn
I'm
thought.
sorry.
We gotta have her here more
I
often.
know.
She's
I
upset
love
about
it.
my nasty peanut butter.
I love all those years. Like, she's got that feistiness.
Yeah, she does.
She's like, yeah, I'm gonna let it all out.
She
motherfucker.
said
Hey,
she
it's
shuts
okay.
Andy
It's
up, and
okay
that's
to
good.
be feisty as long as you don't turn out salty.
Never salty.
Jesus
I
Christ!
only get salty at my partner if he does something stupid.
You don't
He
even
never
hold,
does,
but like
honestly.
legitimately, like you're talking about, like you know,
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
leveling that
came
stress out.
wrong.
Like you know, like I try to stay stress free. This guy, that's why he's so salty.
I thought you were gonna go back to the peanut butter.
That
That's how you say stress.
has nothing to do with the peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I'd love to make a reference to peanut butter, but no, like as long as you stay feisty, that's cool. Don't turn salty.
Got it. Check.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm not a very salty person.
Yeah,
I'm not either.
please don't let him rub off.
Really, I'm not.
It's okay to shut me down, but it's not okay to turn into this guy.
Yes, sir.
No, no. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that.
I don't
Please,
think you're salty.
please don't turn
Thank
into
you.
this guy
I just
because he hasn't
Making
been salty
funnies.
towards you yet. That's right. That's all.
gotta make funnies for the podcast.
Look at,
Definitely.
look at his fucking
Yeah.
shirt. The salty crew.
I mean,
I'm going to end up having a salty crew one day.
Whatever
Where?
that means.
on your dinghy.
Out in
Okay, it's time to end.
out in the ocean.
It's time to end.
Do
It's
you know why the
9:47.
ocean is so salty?
Because Patrick showed up.
No. Did you know that whales produce I think it's 40 pounds of cum a day? You can Google it.
Amateurs.
Oh, hey.
And then now here's the real question: is who held the bucket in order to measure this?
So,
Oh,
did you like? Hold on, like
This is
in,
a joke my uncle used to tell
Andy
me.
did.
in the same aspect. Did you hear about the guy that couldn't come?
No.
Yeah, we had to go get him.
Him and his fucking dad jokes.
That's so stupid.
So's your face.
That's dumb.
You guys are so sweet to each other. It's beautiful.
You know what? I've literally been sweet to him on this show. I literally told him, Patrick, I love you, man. And he's like, fuck you. Like, straight the fuck up, man. Like,
No, when I said
I mean, wait. How did we start the show again?
I've legitimately been like, dude, I'm all, and he's like, dude, fuck you.
Fuck you, man.
hey, that's my way of showing it.
Oh, thanks.
It is. Because when I lay in my coffin and everything,
He wants to be
right
buried.
before Andy comes by, it'd be like this.
No, he wants to be buried upside down so everybody can kiss his ass. That's the real.
I just want to be made into a plant or like a tree.
You can do that now.
I know.
You saw that, right?
Mhm.
The pods or whatever they are.
Yeah, I want to put me in a pod. Call it a day.
Any particular place you'd want to put this pod?
And didn't.
Right up your
Right
up your ass.
I
That was a
don't care.
very loaded fucking question. I'm sorry.
I haven't gotten that far.
right up
Okay.
your butthole.
Not in Tyler, Texas.
Not Tyler.
No.
Maybe like in the Bahamas. Ooh, make me a palm tree.
There you go. So, what's your
Sounds good.
favorite place? Speaking of,
My favorite place.
or where all have you traveled?
Tyler.
Tyler, Dayton.
Pretty much everywhere in Texas. Let's see.
I'm
I've been
shutting my
to
shit
New
down.
Mexico. I've been to Mexico.
Anywhere
I've
tropical.
been,
Come on, I want to lay
Miami.
ya.
I mean, Mexico is. Oh, I went to Hawaii for the first time last year.
And how was that experience?
Expensive.
It rains every day.
Well, it's just like Florida. It
Yeah,
rains
it's like
every day in
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah,
too.
it rains every
Not
day, but
Florida,
like
in
it
Florida.
on different parts of the island. So like one part will be rainy, and if you like drive really quick to the other side, then it's like sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're about to have a hurricane out there.
Oh, that's a stinker.
Yep.
Stinker for them.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I just kind of go wherever the money is. So New
I
York.
can't argue with
LA.
that. Like that's
Yeah.
legitimate.
Big hubs, right?
Yeah, I've been to Vegas several times. Never had a Baja Blast there. Not a good time for me. It's just like you just like
Wait,
spend a
Baja
bunch
what?
of money and the food sucks.
Mountain Dew reference.
Mm,
Yeah,
Taco
Baja
Bell.
Blast.
The second
Yeah.
one.
Taco
yes,
Bell.
We
Taco
love
Bell.
we love Baja Blast.
yeah. So
They're making an ice cream, by the way.
They apparently have an alcohol version of Baja
Oh.
Blast. I have not tried it yet.
God.
So on that
sounds gross.
note,
Yeah, so all I
On
know
that
is we're done.
Anyway, yeah.
shit. So we've gone off the rails this evening.
Yeah, we're done.
Well, that's not a good way to end this
So-
show.
Okay.
Really, honestly, to wrap it all up, let's go ahead and like one more time, like shameless self promotion. Go ahead and give them the website, give them the title of the book,
Absolutely.
and let's get you out there.
Okay, website is www.katiemurrayedwards.com. My Instagram is also katie.marie.edwards. My TikTok is also katie.marie.edwards.
Official.
No.
I know.
no.
I'm playing.
Don't confuse them.
Fair. That's fair.
My book is linked on my website. My book is called The Truth, Little Shakespeare Tragedies. Play
Which
on
we need to
words.
talk about that after this.
Yes.
Okay.
Or maybe
Title one more time since he talked right afterwards.
The Truth, Little Shakespeare Tragedies by Katie Edwards
Okay.
on Amazon, Target online, and Barnes & Noble online.
Definitely not Patrick's website.
Hey, Ashley,
Full of
order
salt
me that
shakers.
book right now.
It'll make you cry, probably. But in the end, you'll be like, oh my God, yay.
It's awesome.
It'll be good.
I'll order it.
Heck yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the support. I get like,
Absolutely.
A penny.
$2 every.
okay. That's cool.
Anywhere between like $2 and $6, depending on how it's ordered.
So how much is it though?
15.
Where did you say?
Why don't you just get one and we just give you 15?
That's fine. We can
Where's
do
the
that.
website?
Yeah, like-
All right.
It's just
yeah,
from the website
so you can
only.
get the whole full price.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, I missed it. Was it from the website only, or is it available other areas?
Is it
too?
paperback or
Website
is it
only.
hardback?
Paperback.
Do you
It's
have a
small
hardback?
read. I don't have a hardback. It's a small read.
Okay.
Yeah,
Have you
it's-
have
How
you
many
It's like-
pages?
It's like 180, 126.
have
somewhere
you
around there.
thought
Could have done a
about
perfect bound
going like
hardback.
the Kindle or Amazon
That
route?
costs more.
Yeah, I know.
Have you thought about going the Kindle or Amazon route?
It's on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Like I thought. Okay, so
Yeah,
it's
so
through
it's
the
on-
website. Okay.
It's on Amazon and it's on Dorance's website. It's on
So if-
Target's website
Okay.
and it's on Barnes and Noble's website.
So walk me through, like, because I have
See,
an
that's
Amazon
where I
Prime.
wanted to know too. Like, so they can go on those websites and also look it up. Correct?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
So let me ask you. So, like, if I have an Amazon Prime account, like, how would I go about getting or receiving it? Do I have to?
What do you mean? You just how you get
Look up the
regularly
title of the
use
fucking
Amazon?
book.
Well, no, you said like I didn't know if it was like in Kindle or whatever the.
No,
Amazon...
they only have paperback available.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
So
they,
you'd
it's not on
actually have
Kindle
to
yet.
physically.
Have you ever thought
order.
about doing like an audiobook?
I actually have someone working on that right now. Her name is Barbara, and her equipment actually broke recently, so she's like almost done, and like right before it's supposed to be
Tell her to
due
come
and
rent the
submitted.
studio.
I know. I was like,
Well,
hello.
I don't know where Barbara's located at. I went through ACX because I actually wanted to narrate it myself,
Yeah.
but I didn't know any producers, and
you
then I
could-
was
you
looking
could-
at studios, and
You got one right here.
maybe I can just fucking start over. I haven't paid her yet.
There you go.
Right here. Here it is.
But I went through ACX.
So that's my biggest challenge because I'm always on the go. So like
Yeah.
I don't have the time to sit there and read something because if my eyes are looking at a book, I have like 15 other fucking projects I need to work on,
Yeah.
and I can listen and do those 15 projects.
Right.
But if my eyes are glued to this, that means I'm not doing all the other fucking things that I need to
Hopefully
get
it'll be.
done.
I actually need to reach out to her, and I mean, if you want to let me come record my narration for
Yeah.
free,
Go ahead. You've heard the studio. You can hear the
Yeah.
He will get all the sound levels set up with this
Yep.
this
Yep.
fucking this Roland guy.
this rolling
Who
guy.
the fuck is Roland?
She's like
Um,
and it's like an old lady with like a raspy voice, and I was like, yeah, this is the one. She's the one. But I really wanted to do
She's
it.
doing the actual audiobook.
Narration.
Yeah, so I went
narration.
through ACX, but she it's past the due date and she hasn't gotten it done. And she said her equipment like broke, so I don't know. Maybe I can like go back on that, and I totally would come and just do it here if you'll let me.
Yeah, I'd love to hear like you actually narrating. I mean, how
wanted to
much
narrate it
more
myself.
powerful is it that the actual person
Well, that's
that
what I
wrote the
wanted to
fucking
do.
book?
But see,
that's true.
I was reaching out
Because
to
then you have like
studios,
the passion and you have
right.
the everything into
I was
it.
reaching out to studios about like what it would cost. And it's like 126 fucking pages. It's not going to be very long narration, and they're like,
Yeah.
that'll be $2,000, and I'm like, no.
Oh, hold on.
no,
Okay.
save it.
So real
Save
quick,
it,
number
save it,
one,
save it, Katie.
he can help out. Period. But I will tell you right now, I have recorded raps that I have produced in my fucking living room of my apartment for $85 an hour on a studio that could probably that's a rip. Yeah, fuck
yeah,
that.
I was like,
Oh
absolutely
my
not.
God.
And like I was looking at like professional studios, someone that can like put it all together on like a file, because I don't know how to do any of that.
Mhm.
Oh, you're gonna have to sip this, Patrick. My bad.
And yeah, all of them were like hell expensive. I was like, this
Yeah.
over $1,000 for like a 120-page book.
No.
Oh no,
No.
and
That shouldn't be any more than 85 times like 200 250
So,
bucks
Yeah.
at best.
one of my clients was Mathnasium,
Okay.
and so they took Megan Trainor had that all about the bass or whatever.
yeah,
So I had it remastered in a studio.
Patrick.
It was before I built this, obviously.
yeah.
I had it remastered.
farewell shot.
The words were all about the math, so we changed obviously the lyrics
Take
and
it,
everything
Patrick.
else.
Take it.
And
Do it.
dude, he charged me like $125.
See?
Yeah.
See?
Okay, I'm looking in the wrong fucking places, but obviously, okay. Well, I'll see. We'll chit chat.
And of course, this was obviously buddy discount. This
Yeah.
guy does bumpers for every radio station in Texas.
Oh wow.
So
So-
he's
Nice.
critically acclaimed, and actually he did pitch matching and all that stuff. So he was
Okay.
Yeah.
able to go in and actually change the pitch and everything.
yeah.
to
Are you
match.
so have you ever heard of Dub One Studios?
I have. Where's that?
So it's out of Arlington. It's in this dude's house. He actually at one point in time, I don't know what he's doing currently because I haven't looked him up in years. But his big claim to fame was he worked on a Clay Aikens album, the one that
Okay.
won the Grammy.
at? Wow.
And we went out there. It's like it's his house, and so I'm
Mhm.
expecting because I've seen my friend's house
So
studios.
you're a Clay Aiken
It's
fan,
not
huh?
even this nice. It's like it's got great equipment out in the living or out in the bedroom, but then we're recording in a closet with clothes, which
Oh,
which
wow.
nothing
I've-
wrong with. Like I get some
I've been to some hood studios.
voiceover
Yeah.
actors have like a little boxes. I get that, but the thing is like we went into the studio with a rap song that was like it was good, but it was fucking hilarious. We could never release it ever. But we went in there and recorded it, and he charged $85 an hour, and we literally could have gone in there and done anything, and it still would have been $85 an hour. And he offered his advice. He couldn't do like a producer, like, oh, let me change the levels and this and that. But
Yeah.
he would offer his advice, what we could do to improve it, and literally $85 an hour.
Wow. That's
And it was a full legit, like his studio set up and back, 10 guitars, fucking board that goes from one wall to the other with probably 32 tracks. I mean, full 9, and then you go across this living area, and then you go into the sound booth. Like we're probably talking minimum 120, 130,000, and he
Mhm.
still was like $85. And so
That's nice.
yeah, and believe me, we had no business even recording what we recorded, but we did. Yep. So I'm just saying it's available. You got homie over here, Devin.
Hell yeah.
So
Appreciate it.
No problem.
I feel like that. I mean, if you came in here and you did it and you gave FU a credit and give Devin a credit and all that,
Just be like at the end,
or I mean,
recorded
or
at
give
FU,
all three of us a credit or whatever.
recorded at
more
FU
Devin
Studios.
and FU,
No.
FU Studios.
DGE Media is the one that's responsible for.
Oh, fuck that. You go
shit.
FU.
DG Media.
Go
You
FU.
should just say FU. Fuck him.
DGE Media has been around for 20 plus years.
Okay.
25 years? Yeah,
Okay.
it's been around for a hot minute.
Yeah.
That's where all my 15, 13, whatever clients is under that company. Yeah.
Okay.
But the FU podcast is obviously this, but it's obviously paid for by DGE Media.
DGE Media associated, or FU podcast associated with DGE
DGE
Media.
In association with
DGE Studio,
Media,
recorded
you
at
idiot.
DGE Studios.
That's why I was kind of pissed off at Tom whenever like that the video and stuff that
I told him
Yeah,
to
I was
put
like,
in,
dude,
in
where-
association with DGE.
Whoa. Before we get off on that,
Well, no, I had to contact him today. That's why it's kind of relevant. So that client that contacted me today, it's a multi-billion-dollar client.
Yeah.
They want to basically put me on retainer and want me to handle all of their video assets.
Nice.
Yeah.
You still have the video that you did from that though.
Well, I had to ask Tom. I said, "Hey, Tom, what's the link to that video?" Because that was the latest thing that I
and
shot.
he was like, "Your face."
No, he sent it to me, and then when I sent it to the client was like, "Oh man, this is awesome." So I was like, "Thank God it's out."
I shot some of it too, So whatever.
Motherfucker, you played a drunk sitting on a corner that
I could have.
I wish I could have thrown a damn bottle at your face.
I could have swore we were bringing the show to the end. But
Yeah, we are.
We are.
We are. We'll talk about the rest of this shit after the show.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, any words of wisdom? Any last encouraging advice? Anything to?
Quotes. Do you have any quotes? I mean,
She spit out a lot.
I'm sure from your book there's a quote you might want to.
I don't have any memorized. No.
Okay, no, fair enough. All good.
No,
I know how it
mean,
is
be
because I
yourself.
write scripts, so I know how it is.
Be yourself. Love yourself. Meditate. Learn yourself. Don't be an asshole.
Yes.
And fuck everybody.
No.
else.
Yeah, that's part of an
No,
asshole. You see
That's
why
part of being an asshole, Salty McCrack.
he does it better than anybody else, ladies and gentlemen.
No, whatever.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Okay.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thanks
being
so
here.
much for
Appreciate
having
it.
me.
No, legitimately, thank you for being here. It was a very good show.
Yeah.
Your continuity was great. You kept us moving.
You're welcome.
You also had a very good story. We've had guests in the past where we've had to kind of draw it out of them with the stuff that we pulled up, but you had a full substance to what you were talking about.
Exactly.
Substance, not
Substance.
substance. Substance.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Thank you.
All right.
That whiskey.
You're done for the night, Andy. Shut up.
It's because I had to deal with your bitch ass, man.
Why? I haven't said anything.
Devin.
Okay, bye.
Can we
Bye. See, she wants.
All right.
See?
Anyways.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
She's sitting there
We will
like
have
our
another
stage
amazing
managers.
show next Tuesday. Who do we have in the studio?
We have Corey Coleman. He's a ordinary person.
Yes, because we've been told by our guests that we have way too many actors and models and
Yep.
this, that, and the other.
And so we have.
When
an
are you
ordinary
ever going to
person.
get an ordinary, normal person in?
So the next 2
What are they
weeks
gonna talk
have
about?
ordinary Huh? What are we going to talk
We'll
about?
find out.
Okay.
Oh, trust me.
We'll find something.
We will probably
Goodbye.
end
You
up.
should listen too.
We'll probably end up cussing a lot again. Too, so.
Yeah, we'll be cussing a lot more.
But anyways,
No.
let's close it out,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We love you, and we'll catch you next Tuesday.
Yes,
And
sir.
thank you
If
for
we don't
tuning in.
see you before next week, catch you like COVID.
Oh, God.
Bye.
That's stupid.
Bye.
Thanks,
Love you
Katie.
long time.
Appreciate it.
Thanks again. You were awesome.